And good morning. Is my camera on? I think it is actually. Okay. Court does call the case of Dizak, I'm pronouncing that, versus Malcolm Hanks and Alyssa Robbins.
Good morning, Your Honor. John Ivanchuk on behalf of the plaintiff.
Do you have them here?
No.
Hanks, Robbins. I don't have them present. Did you pay for second service, counsel?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Did you pay for a second service? I don't see it in here.
I don't think so. From what I
You did not.
Mr. Hanks was served personally. Miss Robbins was served by tacking, it looks like.
Right, but since it's a non-payment, I can't take a default today. I'll have
That's
to
fine.
adjourn it out.
That's
So
fine.
I'll adjourn it to, here's the problem. What do we elect to do? I don't have the 4th. I don't have next week. I'll put it on. Okay, I can do the 11th or the 18th in the afternoon, counsel. Which would you prefer? I have a limited docket on the 11th.
I understand. 11th in the afternoon is fine, Your Honor.
All right. April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case of Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation versus Leslie Dye and Sarah Dye and all other occupants.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joseph Salsky on behalf of Federal Loan Home Mortgage.
Leslie Dye, Sarah Dye, any other occupants of the premises at 16017? Is it Whippoorwill? I have no response. You have paid for second mailing. If you'd raise your right hand to be sworn, I'll let you take a default. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but yourself? You got it.
Yes, I did.
All right, go ahead with your claim.
This is a requesting a default judgment for a eviction on a foreclosed property. Service has been rendered. Requesting a writ for April 7th. Yeah, yes. April 7th, 10 days.
And this is a seeking termination of tenancy after a mortgage foreclosure. The That's redemption correct. Period has expired. Is that correct?
That is correct. Sheriff's deed of July the 11th.
All right.
2024.
I'll grant judgment to the plaintiff. That is by default for possession. No redemption amount. Writ issued 10 days.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case of Onyx Real Estate Solutions versus Ronald Fields.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Neil Chanis appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
You do? You do not. Ronald Fields, they are not checked in. This is a termination. If you'd like to take a default, raise your right hand, please, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give?
Looking for you.
Hello? Who are you, sir? There's an individual who is logged in as Vortex. What is your name?
Who are you talking to, sir?
Did you pick that up?
He asked who you were talking to.
Okay. Let me try this again, counsel. Ronald Fields.
Ronnie Fields.
Is that your name?
No, my name is Reese Palmer.
Okay.
Hold on, he's here.
Who's here?
Talking to somebody. I don't know who you're talking to. Wow. Can you use my phone?
Sir, are you Ronald Fields or is Ronald Fields with you?
Ronald Fields, yes, he's somewhere here. Hold on. I hear his voice, fine. The judge is on the phone.
So could you put Ronald, I need a camera turned on and I need to see Ronald Fields.
He needs to see Ronald Fields, man. Well, he needs to see your face. Where is he at? He's sitting right here. Upstairs, somebody can help. Can't hold no judge up, man. What's wrong with you? Here he is, sir.
Okay, there we go.
Sir.
All right, what's your name?
Oh, this is me, Reese Palmer.
Oh.
Can you hear? I can't hear him. Turn it up.
All right, is Ronald Fields there?
Sir. Can you see me now?
Well, I see somebody. I have no idea who I'm looking
This
at.
is Reese
Who are
Palmer,
you?
you see.
Pardon?
Can you see me? This is Reese Palmer.
Okay, where is Ronald Fields?
He's right here, sir. Sit down. Sit down.
The judge need to see
You
your
need to
face,
see your face. Hey, this is Ronald
What's
Fields.
your name?
Ronald Fields, Your Honor. I was trying to get a hold of it. I was on
All
my
right,
phone. So
thank
that's
you.
why.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Counsel, what is your claim in this case?
My
Your
claim-
Honor, we have this is a month-to-month tenancy. We provided them with a notice to quit to recover possession of property. We are asking for possession only.
Mr. Fields, what's your position on this case?
I'm inviting you as far as it go. I'm not understanding.
Sir.
I'm not understanding why they can't hear you guys. Wait a minute.
Mr. Fields, what's your position on this case? They're seeking to terminate your tenancy. They want you out. What's your position on that?
The judge is asking, what is your position on this case? They're trying to evict us. Yes, evict you. And he's saying, what is your position on this case? Yes, he's asking you, Mr. Fields.
Sir, can you hear me, Your Honor? Judge Cedric Simpson?
I can hear you.
Good.
I'm hearing a
Listen,
lot of things.
I've been in this house for like 3 years now, okay? Now, I don't know what's the problem with this guy. I've never seen him. I've never met him. Just a landlord. Never seen him. Now, the old landlord we had, I used to see her. She used to come over, check on things. This guy, I've never seen him in my life. I've spoken to him several times on the phone.
Sir, you're disputing. Are you disputing the right of the landlord to?
Yeah, you
evict
say
you?
that too. Yeah, I mean, I feel he's in the wrong, disposition because there's things in his home, that need to be taken care of, and he hasn't done it. He hasn't done a very good job.
Can I shed some light on this, Your Honor? I know that we're
I
trying
don't know who you are.
Can you hear me still? Because the phone here, I'm speaking to you on, it's got a low volume, so I'm sorry. I might have raised my voice. Okay.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. If you're going to dispute the right of the landlord to do this, I'm going to give you, actually, I don't have the 4th. I have the 11th, but.
No.
Yes, I want to dispute it, sir. I want to dispute it.
Can I just say something, Your Honor, before they speak?
Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. A couple things. One, Mr. Fields is a month-to-month tenant. However, what the problem is, this is currently being operated, since I've since learned, as a boarding house, which is in violation of the city of Ypsilanti ordinances. The owner has actually been issued citations, ordinance violations, and we have hearings scheduled currently for the 17th of April because they are obviously wanting this property to not be operated as a boarding house. In addition, I believe it also doesn't have a landlord license. The owner of the property acquired it last year in the condition it's in, with it being a boarding house. So as you can see, I've got 6 cases, all of them relating to the same issue. Half of the tenants are month-to-month tenants. The other half are under current leases. But the city is asking us to remedy this problem, and that's what we're trying to do.
So the Reese Palmer, which we've heard from,
Yes,
the Mark Daddy,
yes,
Andrew Curtis, Daryl Daniels, and Kevin Rush, all of those are the same circumstances?
that is correct. Half of those are month-to-month. The other half are under current leases. But the
Okay.
basis for eviction is the same. However, the month-to-month tenants, there's no reason that needs to be stated.
Yeah, I hear you. So which ones are the, let's try to sort these out, Council, if you would. Which ones are the month to month? Let me try to deal with those.
Sure, I agree. Ronald Fields,
Ronald Field,
Yes.
Reese Palmer,
Got it.
and Kevin Rush. Those are month-to-month tenants.
you guys can
And Kevin
handle
Rush.
naming off.
Okay, so those are all month to month.
That is correct.
Okay, are they here? I know Mr. Palmer is here.
And Mr. Fields and Mr.
And
Daddy
Mr.
that I
Fields.
can detect.
And Mr.
So I'll call the
Daniel.
case of Onyx versus Kevin Rush. Kevin Rush, are you here? All right. So as to Kevin Rush, Counsel, if you raise your right hand to be sworn, do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead with your proofs on
Your Honor,
this
we are
case.
seeking a possession judgment only by default. We are only seeking possession. We ask that the judgment be entered with.
You don't even know that he
after
moved.
April 7th if the tenant has not vacated the property.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession.
Thank
No
you.
redemption amount, writ to issue 10 days. All right. As to Mr. Palmer and Mr. Reese, or Mr. Fields and Mr. Palmer, I'm going to give you 2 weeks. If you believe that there's some reason that you shouldn't be evicted from the premises, and in that time, you'll have to seek the advice of counsel or do whatever you're going to do regarding it. You understand that, gentlemen? You're muted. Oh, man. Mr. Fields, Mr. Palmer, do you understand that I'm giving you time to get an attorney if that's what you want to do? To take a look at this case?
Yes, I understand. You're gonna give us time to get an attorney.
2 weeks.
If that's
How
what you
much
wish
time
to
do we
do.
have, sir?
Well, I'm going to adjourn this out to my next available date, which is April 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Those
April
proceedings
11th.
are in person.
Okay, those proceedings are in person. Okay, well, sir, this is what I want to tell you, sir. I'm a CMH patient, mentally ill. I got a care provider that cares for me on certain days because I can't do for myself. So right now, sir, I need to get an attorney and I need somebody to help me on this because I don't
And
understand.
what I'd suggest you do is you talk with your CMH worker regarding this, but the landlord, you don't have a lease, as I understand it, and the landlord wants you out.
No.
You might want to talk to the folks at CMH, okay?
Okay. So how long do we have now?
You need to be in court on the 11th.
Court on the 11th. Okay. All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Onyx Real Estate Solutions versus Andrew Curtis.
For the record, Neil Chanis, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Neil Curtis, you've already been sworn. Go ahead, counsel.
Your Honor, yes, this is a termination of tenancy matter. We are seeking possession only with a writ to issue after April 7th if the tenant has not vacated the property.
Judgment to the plaintiff. That is by default for possession.
Thank you.
No redemption amount. Writ to issue in 10 days. Onyx Real Estate versus Daryl Daniels.
For the record, Neil Chanis, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
I'm here.
Okay, you're Mr. Daniels. You pick it
Yes,
up.
sir.
All right. This is also a termination of tenancy. Mr. Daniels, what's your position on this case?
Your Honor, I just moved in there. I just signed a 12-month lease. Just moved in there. Signed a 12-month lease with this guy. And now here I'm receiving a letter saying that I'm here illegally.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Who'd you sign a letter with?
Rizwan.
And a lease with?
The gentleman, the management, Rizwan. Onyx Real Estate Solutions.
Yeah, there is a current lease.
All right. So the basis for the termination is what?
That the city of Ypsilanti is asking us to not run this property as a boarding house and has again issued ordinance violations as a result. And they are holding off action knowing that we are in court regarding the termination of these tenancies.
He knew that already before he
But, sir, sir, please.
Yes, sir.
So I don't have a copy of contained in the file. I don't have a copy of the lease. He may have a defense as to Onyx in doing this, but so what I'm going to do, sir, give you an opportunity to speak with a lawyer on this matter. And I'm going to adjourn this to April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. That's an in-person proceeding.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Onyx Real Estate Solutions versus Mark. Is it Daddy? I think I saw him here.
Yeah. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. And this also has a lease?
That
Yes,
is
it does.
correct. That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Daddy, what's your position on this?
I mean, I would like to dispute it as well. I just recently moved in September of last year, signed a 12-month lease. I've never been late on rent. I've had no complaints, never done anything wrong. And now I'm being told I have to be moved because of a city ordinance. I don't feel that's my fault or anything I've done wrong. So all right,
I'll give you an opportunity to get an attorney. Set it for April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. That's an in-person proceeding.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think that's all mine.
Okay. Well, thank you. All right. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
All right. Arbor Manor versus Sareja Petilo.
Good morning, Your Honor. Eli Hides, P84976 for the plaintiff.
All right. And she is here. I do see her. Ma'am, can you state your name?
Sareja Patillo.
All right. What's plaintiff's claim in this case?
Yes, rent to retain $934.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is.
Hang on, counsel. Thank you. Okay, go ahead again, counsel. Go ahead.
Rent to retain $934, court cost $178 for a total of $1,112.
All right. Mr. Teo, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I just started, I found somebody who could be financially responsible for me at the moment. I just came out of the hospital from having 2 seizures, and the only job that I have is door dashing at the moment, and they recommend you don't drive for 6 months. So
Gotcha.
I just need at least 14 to 21 days, and I can have all of the money needed so that me and my kids could stay here. I just need a little bit more time.
Okay. Have you contacted Hawk?
I contacted DHS. I'm waiting on them to respond to me. But I
Okay.
did not get in touch with the Hawk program. It's kind of a waiting situation.
What do you mean?
As far as getting somebody to answer the phone.
Okay. That's usually not a problem when you call Hawk. Here's what I'm going to do, Mr. T, okay?
Mhm.
I'm going to adjourn this out to my next available date, which is seemingly not becoming a limited docket. April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. Okay. What I'm going to do, you've already done an SER, state emergency relief. There's a form. You can either get it by the QR code or in your paperwork. There's a copy of the form, or you can come down to the court. It's a rental assistance form. I need you to fill that out with your tracking number. Okay.
Mhm.
And then submit that to the court. You need to do that by next Wednesday.
Okay. The tracking number is also on the paper.
No, the tracking number should be what you got from DHHS.
Oh, okay.
Okay, they should issue you a tracking number. All right.
Okay.
Okay. I'll
All right.
adjourn it out to that time. What I'm going to do, Amy is here, correct? Yes, she is. I'm going to put you into a breakout room with Amy, our court liaison, to talk to her about possible resources for you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. How many people are in your household?
It's me, my 2-year-old son, and then my 7-month-old baby, my little girl.
Okay, so there's 3 of you. So
Yes,
that you know, if DHS comes through, it's only going to be about $620 of this, and we're clicking into April. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll put you into a breakout room with Amy, and let's see where we can go from there. And we'll see you on the 11th. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Arbor Manor versus Colony Franklin or Franklin. It's like that. I don't know if it's supposed to be
Again,
in there.
Heights, 84976 for the plaintiff.
Don't have person.
Is it Franklin or Franklin?
Franklin.
It's Franklin. Okay. Franklin, she's not here. If you'd like to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Rent to retain, $796. Court cost of $178 for a total of $974. I'd request a writ date of April 7th. And that's for
Judgment to the plaintiff. That's by default. Possession, redemption amount, any amount requested. Writ issue in 10 days. Chittister Place versus Jerry Koss.
Morning, Eli Heights for the plaintiff.
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Koss. All right. What is the plaintiff's claim in this case?
Low balance, only at $316 with court cost of $178 makes a total of $494.
All right. Mr. Koss,
Yes.
how are you gonna get that paid?
I had all intentions of having this March 316, which was $291 plus 25 late charge, plus the April rent paid on April 3rd. My question is whether or not this was brought to court prematurely, because according to page 3 of the documents that I received from the court, which I already had previous to getting these documents, it says if you owe this rent, you must do one of the following within 30 days. Well, it hasn't been 30 days yet. And the apartment manager, property manager, Terry, this happened, I've been a tenant there for 5 years. This happened back in 2022 or 23, and I was able to pay both the following, coming in April, I would be paying March and April out of my Social Security income. But
Gotcha.
All
right. So here's what I'm going to do. You might have a defense to this. I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak with a lawyer. I'm going to adjourn this out to April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. Counsel, you may want to take a look. There might be an issue with the 30-day notice
Yeah,
in the filing of this proceeding.
I'll do so.
All right.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
if both the 316 and the 291 are paid on the 3rd, is everything taken care of or what?
Well, it might seem that that's it. They've got court costs in there that might be a dispute as to whether or not you owe it.
Okay, so you're
So, oh, I'm not suggesting anything. What I'm suggesting is that if you were going to pay your back balance of the 316 plus your April rent to go ahead and do that, it may be once they look at the issue that you raised, they might just dismiss it without the court cost being assessed.
Okay. Now how?
Okay, I'm not guaranteeing that to you. I'm just saying, do what you were going to do in terms of getting it paid.
So I will then, once they're both paid on the 3rd of April, I will wait to hear from management as to.
You're going to have to wait to hear from them. I've set this date. If you don't hear from them by that time, you'll need to appear at court.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Chittister Place versus Nevaeh Wright.
Hello.
Hello, Ms. Ray. All right, counsel, what's the claim in this case?
Sorry, Your Honor. Nevaeh Wright.
Yes.
Sorry, my other court just popped up. $253 rent to retain, court cost of $178 for a total of $431.
All right. And ma'am, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I intend on getting it paid on the 1st of April.
Were you going to pay that plus your April rent, or?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna pay my March and April rent. I already have my receipt for March, so I just have to get a receipt for April.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to adjourn this out to the 11th, 2025. Just be here all day. 1 p.m. Counsel, your client, you're gonna need to look at her notice also. On where is he? Did he?
Just turned his cameras off. He's still there.
Oh, he's still there. All right. They're gonna look at that. So, ma'am, do this. You're like the last gentleman. Pay your back rent plus your April rent. Get that paid, and then talk to management.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't hear from management or it's not resolved, then I'll need to see you on the 11th.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
So if I do get it resolved and I talk to management, do I have to still come to court?
Well, you don't have to come to court, but make sure that the case is dismissed before you don't come to court.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Chittister Place versus Warren Grider. There he is. Hold on.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I apologize.
All right. Sorry, we'll call Chittister Place versus Warren Grider.
Good morning. Eli Hydes for the plaintiff.
Warren Grider, not checked in. You may proceed.
Yes, rent to retain in this case is $1,109 with court costs of $178 for a total of $1,287. Requesting a writ date of April 7th.
Judgment to the plaintiff. That is by default for possession, redemption, of any amount requested with the writ to issue in 10 days.
Thank you, Judge.
Forrest Knoll versus Angie Evans.
Eli Hydes, PA 4976 for the plaintiff.
Ms. Evans, I need you to turn on your camera and unmute. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Sure, Your Honor. Rent to retain is $1,425. Court costs $178 for a total of $1,603.
All right. Ma'am, how are you intending on getting this paid?
I can make a $400 payment today, and I can pay the rest on April 1st.
Okay, on April 1st, were you going to pay the rest plus your April rent, or?
My April rent will have to be late. I can pay my April rent on April 11th.
Okay, let's do this then. You're gonna pay 400 today, correct?
Yes.
And then you're gonna pay the balance of what's owed now
April
by the
1st.
1st,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then you're gonna pay your April rent by
April
April
11th.
11th. Okay. Can you get that done before, say, noon on that day?
Yes. And I get off
Okay,
work
so
at 3, so I can pay my rent after 3. So at least by 4
oh, it'll be after 3. Okay,
today.
well, we'll deal with it. Let's do this. Get that other part paid. I'll adjourn this out to April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Forrest Knoll versus Audrey Turner.
Good morning again. Eli Heads, P84976 for the plaintiff.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Okay, she's here. Okay, what's plaintiff's claim in this case?
Yes, rent to retain $1,965, court cost of $178, for a total of $2,143.
All right. And ma'am, how are you intending on getting that paid?
Honestly, I don't think I deserve to pay that. I don't even know why my rent is that high. I could just move off their premises.
Okay, so you're just gonna move?
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna adjourn this out. You're entitled to an adjournment. If you move by the 11th, it's likely they'll dismiss the case. It doesn't get rid of the money, but they're only asking for possession here. So I'm gonna adjourn this to April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m.
Okay. I'll be out before that, but okay.
Okay. Make sure
Thank
to turn
you.
in your keys. All right. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you. Yep.
I believe that's the last of mine, Judge.
That's it. All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Weekend. Yep.
Is it Gardenier, I don't know, Properties versus Clara's House LLC. There's attorneys on both sides. Good.
Jamie 85399 on behalf of Gardenier Properties.
Good morning, Your Honor. Clifton Hitchcock on behalf of defendant Clara's House.
All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case as to how much is owed?
Your Honor, right now we have a background of $19,377.50, court costs of $215 for a total of $19,592.50.
All right. And sir, what do you have to say regarding that?
My client contests that amount. Haven't seen a ledger. If anything is owed, my client believes she's current, but if anything's owed, it's a small fraction of that amount. I think it'd be appropriate and respectfully request a 2-week adjournment, and perhaps, and I can speak with Ms. Sajami off record and perhaps resolve this by the next proceeding.
Yes, Your Honor, that's fair. Just very briefly, just in this immediate moment, one of the issues is she's not allowing my clients access to the premises. We're in the last year of the lease, and one of the provisions in the lease is that they are allowed to access the premises given within reasonable notice to show it to potential new tenants. She's not allowing them in. So that's a big issue that I would just like to resolve today, and then we can deal with the rest of the case. Maybe we can come to a resolution.
With all due respect, that it hasn't been pled, and it's a non-payment case in front, so we can.
And Your Honor, that doesn't, I mean, that's not
We
taking
can
away from the
discuss that.
issue.
We can
That's not
discuss that off record. I don't believe that's appropriate to discuss on the record today, and I'm not aware of it. I was just engaged on this case earlier this week, so I don't believe that's appropriate to discuss today.
Okay, well, I was asking Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. If the lease indicates they don't have access to the premises, counsel, and I realize you may have just come into the case or just been retained on it, but if that's what it is, I'm going to expect that the lease will be complied with.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I would like to ask for a copy of the lease. It was not attached to the complaint. If Sister Counsel has a copy of the lease that she can send to me to review, I certainly make sure my client complies with the terms of the lease.
Your Honor, I have no problem. I'll send him all the documents I have. I'll send him the lease. I'll send him the ledger. It's just I got his answer yesterday.
Yes, it wasn't attached to the complaint.
Okay. All right. Okay, folks.
Thank
I'll
you.
look forward to it. April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. That's an in-person proceeding. All
Okay,
right.
thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And counsel, you may want to also send a copy of the ledger, since we'll probably have to go through it, send a copy of the ledger to the court. So I have a copy of that.
I'll forward everything forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of McCullough Green versus Nicholas Horvath. Green versus Horvath. No one's here. Neither party appeared. Case dismissed. Court calls the case of Arbor House Apartments versus Khalid Mahmood.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mark Lando on behalf of the plaintiff.
Checked in. Mahmood, they are not checked in. If you'd like to take a default, raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, this is a termination of tenancy action. The tenancy was terminated by a notice to quit. We are seeking the entry of a default judgment of possession with a writ to issue if the defendant fails to vacate within the next 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession, redemption amount, any amount requested with the writ to issue in 10 days. Arbor House Apartments versus Cardarius McBride.
Mark Lando for the plaintiff.
McBride, no one's here. You may proceed.
We are seeking the entry of a default judgment of possession for non-payment of rent. The rent owing is $3,883 plus $180 in court costs. The total is $4,063 with a writ to issue if not paid within 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested with the writ to issue in 10 days. Westbourne Family Trust versus Darrell West.
Mark Lando for the plaintiff.
Darrell West, pro se.
And this is a term. All right, this is a termination of tenancy case. Mr. Lando, what's the?
There's a counterclaim also.
Well, Mr. Landau.
Yes, Your Honor. The basis for the termination is that Ms. Osborne and Mr. West are brother and sister. Ms. Osborne is the undisputed owner of the property. They've never had a lease, and Ms. Osborne has determined to end the landlord-tenant relationship with her brother and seek possession of the property back.
Sir, what's your position on this case?
Judge, this is not a landlord-tenant case. This is a barter contractual agreement between the two parties. They both appeared before this court in 2011 as co-plaintiffs for this property, and Your Honor's already established that Mr. Darrell West has standing as if he were the owner of the property. I've done
I don't recall that ruling at all.
Absolutely. You denied motion for summary judgment based on her testimony.
But okay. Well,
anyway, we're here today. I'm contesting the eviction process and request a jury trial and it be put on the civil docket because I have a counterclaim. I've spent $20,000.
Sir, it doesn't work that way. Have you you got to file an answer or something? I mean, I see the documents you filed. Sir,
I'm sorry.
Do not interrupt me.
Sorry.
I see the documents that you filed. I don't know, Mr. Landau, have you received copies of it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So the interrogatories, well, it says plaintiff's first interrogatories. Your captions on all of these proceedings, sir, are wrong.
They can be corrected.
Pardon?
They can be corrected, Judge.
Yeah, and they will be. So everything, and let me just say, I don't know why I have an appeal brief in the Court of Appeals. I don't know.
That's establishing that the plaintiffs have filed the complaint for recovery, and in section C, they say there's no other pending, unresolved, or resolved cases. That's false information. And also in section 8, they suggest that the property's been maintained properly during the residency, and that again is false information. She's provided.
Do you have a Court of Appeals case number?
Yes, I do. It's there. No, I don't. They're under review.
Yeah, I didn't think you
I
did.
have an interlocutory appeal case number. That case number is 374672.
Well, you're going to have to file. I'm not staying these proceedings. I looked at the circuit court case because of what you filed. That matter, I believe, was closed and dismissed. So, or at least a judgment. There's nothing pending in the circuit court. If you're saying there's something pending in the Court of Appeals, I don't have it. The Court of Appeals hasn't stayed these proceedings, and I'm not going to stay these proceedings. You're going to have to correct your pleadings in this matter so that the caption is correct for anything that you're filing with this court. If it's not corrected by the next date, I'm going to strike the pleadings.
What is the error in the heading?
You look at it. I'm not here to give you legal advice. The captions are wrong.
Okay.
Lando, I can adjourn you to the 11th or the 18th. This is a termination, but I don't.
Let's go with the 11th, Your Honor, if that's all right.
Well, probably not, but whatever. All right, April 11th, 2025,
Judge,
1 p.m.
Judge,
That's it. That's an in-person proceeding.
Judge, I'm in a wheelchair. I asked that I'd be allowed to Zoom audio.
You'll have to submit the form.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Judge, did you give a time for that hearing?
Pardon?
Did you give a time for that hearing?
Yes, at 1 o'clock, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. And good morning, everyone. Court does call the case of Willow Ridge Apartments versus Berthantu Abdallah.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sidney Katz on behalf of plaintiff.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
It's your Abdallah?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Oh, you're here.
Oh, I got it.
All right. Well, Mr. Katz, you're on this one.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, there's currently a balance due, including court costs totaling $1,471, 1471.
Sir, how are you intending on getting this paid?
Yes, Your Honor. I was scheduled for to make that payment for Thursday, 3rd of next week. So I already scheduled for that payment to be paid on Thursday.
Okay. Is that including your April rent?
No, just only the past due for the April the 17th, which is I'm gonna schedule that one next week as soon as I take care of the past due. Your Honor, what happened is just my wife diagnosed with cancer. That's the reason why we're struggling, and I was be able to get back to work, do more hours. So I was in control right now. I increased my income because of the situation we go through. So I'm in the right direction. So I make sure taken care of, and the zero balance is going to be.
So the 1471 will be paid by the 3rd, you say?
Yes, Thursday by the.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the file that that's going to be paid by the 3rd. I'm going to give you an adjournment that you're entitled to out to the 11th. I don't have the 4th available, counsel. So
Not a problem,
it's
and I
gonna be-
guess we'll, even if we get a judgment, he'll be satisfying it with the payment that he says he's gonna make.
Right. So I'll set it for April 11th, 2025 at 1 o'clock. All right.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. One more time. Which day is that? My apology.
April 11th, 1 o'clock. That's an in-person proceeding, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if we're already pushing it to the 11th, why don't we push it to the 18th? At that point, maybe I'll be dismissing the case.
Oh, okay. That's fine with me.
Make sense?
Yep, it does.
All
So
right.
it's April 18th. What time?
1 p.m.
At 1 p.m. also.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
That's
Thank you.
very much.
All right. Take care, sir.
You
Willow
too,
Ridge Apartments versus Maya Hines.
Morning again, Your Honor. Sidney Katz on behalf of plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hello, Ms. Hines. Okay, how much is owing on this?
Including court costs, the current balance is $3,658. That's 3,658.
Ms. Hines, how are you intending on getting that paid?
So I had a bad car accident and I broke my hand and my knee. As you can see, I'm in a cast. So I haven't been able to work, and this happened at the end of January, so I've been off. I just got approved for my disability, so I should have some funds next week, and then they should give me
Do
like
you know how much you're gonna have, or what you're gonna be able to
so they're
do?
gonna give me 900 every other week, and then I'm getting help from Supportive Connections and Jewish Family Services to help me get this balance
Okay.
down as well.
Have you contacted Hawk?
They won't help me because they helped me last year, so I'm not at the. I guess it's like a time limit I have to be at to make it a full complete year.
Okay. So you're reaching out to other
Places. Yeah, it's not that I'm not trying or I'm not working on purpose. I have a broken hand.
No, okay, I get you. All right. So when is your first check coming in?
It'll be in Wednesday. I'm sorry, when is the 4th? That's
The
Friday.
4th, next Friday?
Yep.
All right. So you haven't had income. So how much of that check do you think you can?
I don't want to not give the whole thing, but I do have like to pay my light bill, so our lights aren't off. So I could probably give like 800 and then put 100 towards the light bill.
And I think she's going to need some more assistance, so she's probably going to reach out to some other places.
How much is your monthly rent?
It's 1647 or 49, something like that.
Okay. All right. So let's start this since she's entitled to the adjournment. I pay 750, pay that by the 4th.
Okay, Your Honor.
And then you'll have another check at least by the 18th.
Yes.
And maybe can at least get, hang on. I don't know who that is. And then you can maybe at that point then get your at least your April rent, because you're gonna have to find some way to get this 36. And all right.
So I think she probably might want to talk to someone from legal aid if she has the opportunity. Maybe they can
she might want to contact legal aid, but also I think I'm gonna put her in with Amy, court liaison, and see what else might be available for you. Okay, Ms. Hines?
Okay, Your Honor.
Okay, so counsel, I'm gonna put this out to the 18th with your other case.
Great. Thank you.
All right. April 18th, 2025, 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing, Ms. Hines, okay?
Okay, so I'm not driving right now, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get there. I can't drive.
Okay, then you'll have to fill out a Zoom form and we'll
Okay.
look at it. But I remember that you broke your arm.
Okay.
How come you can't drive with the other hand?
Technically I
Never
can,
mind.
but
Never mind.
Your
I'm not
Honor, the
gonna.
question is, how's she gonna fill out the form if she got a broken arm?
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is all gonna be a mess, Miss Hines.
Yeah.
and it's my dominant hand. I broke my dominant hand. Not good.
Oh, the dominant hand. Okay, I got you. All right. Well, I don't want you out there driving unsafe, so I get you. All right. So, Ms. Hines, I want you to hold on the line. We're going to put you into a breakout room with a court liaison person. Okay?
Okay.
And start talking about other resources and things. In any event, make those payments so
Okay,
we
I
can
will.
try to keep it steady until we can get you some assistance. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor.
All right. You have a great weekend.
You too, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'll see you at 3:00.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Here on Vista Apartments versus Denisha Davis.
Good morning, Your Honor. Parissa Gazari appearing for plaintiff.
Good morning. Denisha Davis, not here. If you'd like to take a default, raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, this is an action for non-payment of rent. The rent to retain possession is $1,438. Court costs of $176 for a total redemption of $1,614. Plaintiff is requesting entry of a default judgment for possession with a writ to issue after 10 days if the total amount remains unpaid. I do understand that Ms. Davis has a talk appointment on the 2nd. Let me just double check one thing, Your Honor. Sorry to.
All right. No, not a problem.
No, Your Honor, I'd like to proceed with that default. Thank you.
Okay. Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days. All right, court does call the case of Huron Vista Apartments versus Minocia. Oh my goodness. Hang on, folks. Minocia Ellington.
Parissa Gazari for plaintiff.
She is not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The rent to retain possession is $856. Court costs of $176 for a total redemption of $1,032. Plaintiff is requesting entry of a default judgment for possession with a writ to issue after 10 days if the total amount remains unpaid.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested with the writ to issue in 10 days.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of Huron Vista Apartments versus McKinley Saunders.
Parissa Gazari for plaintiff.
Not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The rent to retain possession is $441. Court costs of $176 for a total redemption of $617. Plaintiff is requesting entry of a default judgment for possession with a writ to issue after 10 days if the total amount remains unpaid.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested with writ issue in 10 days. Huron Vista versus Chanel Brown. Chanel Brown.
Parissa Gazari for plaintiff.
You had it right the first time, Judge.
It's Chanel?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh, ma'am. Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, because
you gave me a promotion. That's fine. I'm good. All right.
The screen switched. I'm sorry, sir.
It's okay. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $2,857.44, which includes the court costs.
All right.
And yes, I am working with Alpha House, not Alpha House. I have a second party that's gonna pay the rent next week.
Next week?
Yes.
When are they? What date? Do you know?
No, they just told me to come in and tell you that they're gonna pay
Okay.
it.
So let me ask you this. Are they gonna pay they're gonna pay your current back balance and April?
Yeah.
Or
Well, I already paid my rent for my portion for April already. So they're
you
supposed
did?
to be, yes. And they're supposed to pay for the rest.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. My next date is the 11th. So I'm going to turn it out to April 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. That's an in-person hearing.
Okay.
So if everything is all paid, then it's likely they'll dismiss the case, but you've got to
Okay.
make sure that it's
Well,
dismissed.
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely know that they're gonna pay the rent because they told me they're gonna do
Okay.
that, and
All
they have
right.
not stood me wrong. So I just
Okay. So if everything's
the first
paid
is
and
not
the
here
case is
yet.
going to be
So
dismissed,
thank you.
then you don't have to appear.
Okay.
If not, if for whatever reason there's a hiccup, then you'll have to appear here in court.
Yes, sir.
So I can mispronounce your name in person. Okay?
I love you so much, and I watch you all the time, and I'm trying to be part of your team. Tell them to hire me. Tell them to hire me.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your Honor, one thing I just want to add is that I do see that there was a payment made by Ms. Brown on the 25th of March and the 21st of March. However, April rent is going to be added to this ledger.
Okay, so that's the reason why I'm so
Right.
confused because I had two different parties. We just had another management over here. So I'm confused because even when I looked at my case where I'm supposed to be paying at and then where they're supposed to be paying at, it's still not adding up with the costs. So I'm wondering if it's a hiccup on their side, and I'm not the only person. I'm not the only tenant that's having this problem.
Gotcha. Okay, but I think what Ms. Gazzari is pointing out, you made a payment that's already been deducted from your account. Come April 1, they're going to click on your portion for April.
Right. And I just literally this week paid my portion.
Right. But what I'm trying to tell you is come April 1, your portion is actually going to be added to the figure we had. Okay, okay, look, it'll be okay. It's that the amount that's given, the people that are paying for you, here's what you're going to need to tell them. Because you already paid a certain amount in March being your April rent, right? That's what you think you're paying. The amount they're going to need to pay is the amount that we just gave you plus whatever your April portion is.
Are you serious?
Okay. If they don't do that, you'll have to come down. We'll get it straight, but I want to make sure that the numbers are being looked at. But we'll make sure all the numbers are
I'm
right.
very confused about the numbers. So yeah.
Okay. If they pay the 28, I don't have the file in front of me now, but if they pay that amount,
okay,
then it may look like your April didn't get paid. All right. Show up on the 11th. If that's the case, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. Don't stress about it. All right.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great weekend.
You as well.
All right. Huron Vista versus Karina O'Hara.
Carissa Gazzari for plaintiff.
Not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The rent to retain possession is $3,421. Court costs of $176 for a total redemption of $3,597. Plaintiff is requesting entry of a default judgment for possession with a writ to issue after 10 days if the total amount remains unpaid.
Judgment to the plaintiff. That's by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested. Writ to issue 10 days. Huron Vista versus Naja Washington.
Carissa Gazzari for plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hello, Ms. Washington. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $1,087, which includes court costs. I understand.
1,087?
Yes.
All right.
I understand that Ms. Washington is taking advantage of a forgiveness plan, and we will be providing a conditional order of dismissal. We'll be drafting it and submitting it to the court that includes certain terms that she has to follow, and if she follows those, then a portion of the debt would be waived.
Okay. Is that your understanding, Ms. Washington?
Yes.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll adjourn this out to the 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Hopefully we'll have all that together and then we can get it taken care of. All right?
Okay, sounds good.
Does it make sense to put any of like the 3-day rule on the record today? Or do you want us to just come back after she signed the COD?
I prefer she comes back after you sign it and get it all. All right.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Huron Vista versus Angie Evans.
Carissa Gazzari for plaintiff.
Ms. Evans?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. What's plaintiff's claim?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $3,502, which includes the court costs. This is also a case where I understand that Ms. Evans has been in contact with property management regarding entering into a conditional order of dismissal that includes, the forgiveness of some debt if she complies with certain terms.
All right. Is that correct, Ms. Evans?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to put this out to the 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. Let you try to get all the paperwork and everything worked out. We'll see you then and get it entered. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Court calls the case of Huron Vista versus Deanna Rogers.
Carissa Gazzari for plaintiff.
She's not here.
She is.
She is. Oh, there she is. Hello. All right. What is plaintiff's claim?
Your Honor, the outstanding balance is $2,888, which includes court costs. Similar to the prior case, this is also a case where I understand that Ms. Rogers has been in contact with management, with her property manager, and is interested in entering into a conditional order of dismissal that includes the forgiveness of certain debt if she complies with the terms of the conditional order of dismissal.
Ms. Rogers, is that correct?
Am I able to change that? Because I don't think that I'll be able to make rent on time for April.
Okay, so I guess I'm not clear.
As part of the terms.
Part of the terms are that you got to pay April rent on time. Is that it, Ms. Rogers?
Yes.
Okay. And how much is your April rent?
It's $1,800.
Okay.
I'm working with I had an appointment with Hawk on the 2nd of April. And I did put a state emergency relief in too.
So you got an appointment with Hawk on the 2nd. And then your rent is that much. Okay.
Your Honor, I have the rent as $1,837.
1837. Okay. Okay. So gotcha. Okay. So why don't I give you the adjournment, let that Hawk appointment take place, and then see where we're at. Okay, Ms. Rogers?
Okay.
Okay. So I'll adjourn this to April 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m.
That in person?
Yes, that's in person, ma'am.
April 11th at 1 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Peninsula Place versus Heaven Reed.
Carissa Gazzari for plaintiff.
They are not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The rent to retain possession is $2,251.58, court cost of $250 for a total redemption of $2,501.58. Did we have personal service for this case?
No, substituted.
Thank you. I'd like to proceed with a default judgment for possession only with a writ to issue after 10 days if the total amount remains unpaid.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession, redemption amount, any amount requested, writ to issue in 10 days. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it for the 10 o'clock block, and then we'll have our whatever at 3. All right, court stands in recess. Ms. Stoneberger, can you hear me now?
I can, yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
This is a termination case for a couple of different reasons. Number one, damage caused by the tenant to the landlord's properties. Flood, in particular, causing ceiling to collapse due to basically appears to be a drunken, non-authorized person in the unit leaving a shower on for 45 minutes to an hour till the unit flooded down into the lower unit, ruining the ceiling and so on. That would be step one. Step two is the tenant has at least two unauthorized occupants in the unit with her. The lease is for one person. She's got 2 or 3 in there. We're asking to have the lease terminated. We've gone around with her. She's not cooperating. Have the lease terminated. We're not asking for money judgment. We're asking for judgment of possession.
Ma'am, your position on this?
Yes, sir. I was advised by for Devon H on legal services. I'm going through legal services and everything because of the time change. She was asking me, because of the heat situation that we have with my landlord, I've kept a lot of documentations. I haven't had heat basically since November. He advised me to go buy a space heater, which heat is in my lease. And then he also stopped the Wi-Fi over 3 months ago also, Your Honor. And he also stopped the water on me about a month and a half ago, Your Honor. So I'm asking if by any chance we can get a trial date so we can do with all the evidence too, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, looks like we'll do that.
Thank you.
All right. Ma'am, you need to file a written answer with the court. You need to file that by, I don't need much time on it, by April 4th.
Okay.
You need to send a copy to plaintiff's attorney.
Yes, sir.
On that.
Yes, sir.
And then I will set a non-jury trial in this matter for April 8th.
Okay, sir.
2025 at 9 a.m.
I did reserve escrow last time.
Yep, thank you, sir.
I asked for escrow if you were.
That's at 9 a.m. Ma'am, how much
Yes.
is your monthly rent?
My monthly rent is $1,100.
All right. I reserved escrow from the last hearing. I can't order it at that point. Here's what I'm going to do. You need to deposit $1,100 escrow beginning April 1st.
Yes, sir. That's when rent is due. Am I correct?
Yes, rent is due on the 1st. You need to deposit that with the court.
With the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We'll see you April 8th, 9 a.m.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You got one more. Jonathan Weber versus Vicky Carroll. Okay, ma'am, come on up to the podium. What's your name?
Vicky Carroll.
All right. This is also a termination.
Termination of an oral month-to-month lease. Notice was given. I asked for anything other than possession.
All right.
The problem came when it was brought out that you didn't have the proper paperwork recognizing my apartment as being an apartment. It was like it's supposed to be one household as far as the city is concerned.
Okay.
So I'm different. I don't want to stay there anymore, but I was missing some of the things that I needed, like a copy of my social security card, proof of the income stuff. So okay, I got it now, and I'm trying to do what I need to do to get out of it.
Okay, so everybody's in agreement that you have to leave. When do you think you can be out?
next 3 weeks. I need time to, for people to okay it. You know what I'm saying?
So you can be out by the 18th?
Of April.
I know you were. Yes.
Yeah, that should be efficient.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do because they won't be able to operate any quicker. I will, finding no tribal issue, I'll grant a judgment for possession. Termination of tenancy with a writ date of the 16th of April 16th. Okay? Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Court does call the case of Valley Ranch versus Jamie Rena.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brianna Kingsley appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Afternoon. You got it.
I do not.
Jamie Rena.
I'm sorry, she actually has an attorney.
Who?
Oh, counsel's present.
All right, Mr. Cooper, you're representing her. Okay,
Yeah,
where
Jamie,
are we
yes,
on this
him.
case?
Yes.
Where are we on this case?
I actually just received a consent judgment, which I'm in the process of signing back and returning to my opposing counsel here.
All right, so there's going to be a consent judgment. What are the terms of that consent judgment?
My client is to pay a total of $1,161.15 on or before April 7th. Upon payment, we've agreed that we will file a stipulation to set aside and dismiss this case. And then I'd also, just for the record, and I will provide proof of the same to counsel, my client has made half that payment today.
Okay. So
I'll have another, I think, $580.50 something cents on or before the 7th, but the terms of the judgment have the complete amount.
all right. And that's a correct statement of the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right. Then I will indicate that there is a consent judgment, counsel on both sides. Once I receive it, I'll sign off.
Thank you, Judge.
The writ issue is indicated. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Brianna, I'll send that over to you shortly.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Valley Ranch versus Lauren Victor.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Miss Victor?
Hi, hello.
Hello, there she is. Okay. So what do you have as her current balance?
I am showing rent to retain in the amount of $4,480.73. It looks like Miss Victor's payment that she made on the 14th came back as non-sufficient funds.
Your Honor, when I got paid that day, I was under full impression that I was going to get my full check amount. I had received later that afternoon a notice of another wage garnishment. So that left my check to be 1/3 of its normal amount. Since the 17th, I've been driving Uber and started a new job. So today is that first paycheck. And so my plan is to have that returned payment in cash by the end of day Monday.
All right, but the problem is, how much is your monthly rent?
It is 1876,
1863.
63.
All right, so.
But the 20.
Counsel, what was the total amount that she owes?
Just the rent to retain is $44.80.73, and then the costs are $169. So the total is $46.49.73.
What I'm going to do, ma'am, is I'm going to find no tribal issue in this case. I'm going to grant a judgment for possession to the plaintiff in that full amount of $4,649.73. You got a check that's coming to pay that, and then I'm locking this figure in because if we start adding April in, we're going to have a problem. Your normal writ date would be April 7th. I'm going to give you're going to have to get this paid by April 11th.
11th.
So a writ to issue
Yes.
April 11th.
Yes, 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 sir.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of Arbor Woods versus Autumn Cooper.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
This is a motion for issuance of an order of eviction.
Yes.
Autumn Cooper, Pamela Coleman. All right. The plaintiff's petition. The order is granted. Your motion's granted. And
Thank
I've
you very
signed
much,
the order.
Judge.
Court calls the case of Arbor Woods versus Jennifer Watson.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Jennifer Watson.
Yes.
All right. Miss Watson, this is plaintiff's motion for an issuance of an order of eviction. In your case, what do you have to say to that, ma'am?
Yes. A lot's been going on since October. I have no issue whatsoever with what I owe. That's not the problem. It's more so me reaching out continuously, calling, emails coming to the office, and nobody responded to me, giving me answers or anything. What happened was I came in to pay my rent October, and I was typically paying partial payment. I found out that day that you can't do partial payment, and I was confused about. So to make a very long story short, it just became a snowball effect. I was out of work, FMLA, due to injury. It just kept piling up. I was trying to contact the office to let them know what's going on, if I could put money down that I was saving towards rent, and nobody would respond to me for months. I left voicemails, I have emails, I have proof where they told me I could make partial payments and it
Ma'am,
changed. So I was kind of out of the loop.
have you paid anything on this judgment from October?
No, because they don't take any partial payments. So I couldn't, every time I was trying to make a payment, the late fees would come in. It just kept becoming a snowball effect, and I couldn't pay anything. So they wouldn't take anything. So I didn't know what to do whatsoever. So it's gotten to this point, unfortunately. So I don't know what to do. I've been trying to communicate with
How much
months.
is owing on her account?
Balance due as of today's date is $10,829.14.
And ma'am, do you have that?
No, I've been trying to reach out for months. Nobody returns calls. It's been different people,
Well,
management. I just didn't know what to do.
Ma'am, I guess what you're saying, but if you tried to reach out and nobody would take your money, that would mean you'd have the money.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have the money.
No, because it kept going higher and higher. So they take the full amount. They don't take any partial payment. So what I did have
how
to
much
take
money do you have now?
nothing.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell me?
No, just I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to figure out what the next
Well,
step is. Like I said,
You're gonna have to vacate the premises.
okay, how much
You
time do I
haven't
have
even
for
paid.
me and my children?
You haven't paid off the judgment. You don't have the current rent. There's not a whole lot I can do.
Yeah, I never received any letters or anything. So I just was reached out to a month ago. So I've been, like I said, I've been trying to contact the office. I came into the office. They told me a lawyer would reach out to me. That never happened. So I'm lost. I don't know what to do. So how much time do I have so I could find somewhere for me and my children? I don't know what else to do. I'm just distraught. I've been like this for a while and I'm just trying to stay strong. So I just want to know what I need to do legally so I can make sure I'm doing the right thing. And I will pay the money. I know I owe that money. I don't know what to do. Nobody's talking to me. Everybody's avoiding me until recently, a month ago.
The motion to issue the writ is granted and I've signed that. And ma'am, the best thing that I can tell you is that you'll be on borrowed time. However, I've also signed the writ of restitution or the order of eviction. So really you'll have 72 hours from the time that it's posted.
Okay, so 72 hours to
From the time that it gets posted. So if it gets posted Monday, you've got till Thursday.
How would I know where it's posted so I make sure?
Oh, you just look at your front door.
Okay. So I can't ask for any extra time to try to find somewhere or
You
something?
can ask ma'am, you can ask the landlord for extra time, but at the point that I'm at now, this was a judgment from October.
Yes, I
And
understand that.
And you're telling me you have none of the funds. There's nothing I can do. You owe over $10,000, almost 11.
I understand.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Arbor Woods versus Tina Carico.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Do not get her check.
Tina Carico. Same type of hearing. And she is not paid on the judgment. I set this for a writ hearing, but not being here, will grant the order to issue the eviction in this case, and I've signed the order of eviction.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I need those other two back that we just did. Court does call the case of Arbor Woods versus Tyrone Miller.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff. Judge, actually, we're going to be withdrawing our request for the writ on this one. The defendant has paid.
Okay. Writ request withdrawn. Just make sure, these are the processed out. Court does call the case of Coachville versus Jessica Green.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Jessica.
Here.
Hello, where are you?
Right here.
Okay, there you are. Okay. And how much does plaintiff claim is owing at this point?
Rent to retain $1,477.45. Court costs $212 for a total of $1,689.45.
All right. And ma'am, you had a meeting with Hawk?
Yes, we had a meeting with them on Wednesday. We're just doing the exchanging of information.
I'm sorry?
We're doing the exchange of information.
Okay, so you're still working with Hawk? All right. How much is your monthly rent?
Between 583 and 600.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do, because we've come down to the end of the month on this, and I don't necessarily want to kick April in. So I'm going to find that there's no tribal issue. I'm going to issue a judgment for possession. All right. For their total amount of $1,689.45. Okay. Since you've met with Hawk, what I will do is I will extend the writ date, potentially over the objection of plaintiff, but I'll extend the writ date to April 14th. So I'll give an additional week's time for all of the information to get back and forth and to get that paid. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Northville Crossing versus Kelsey Perry.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
And
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay, there she is. All right. Hello, Miss Perry. Okay.
Hello, how are you?
What? I don't know yet, but I think I'm okay. All right,
That's
counsel,
good.
how much is owing?
Judge, hold on one second. Sorry. $1,915.02 with court costs of $246 for a total of $2,161.02.
$2,161.02. All right. Did you pay the $1,000?
I did. Nobody was in the office when I went up there, so I put it in the Dropbox.
When did you do that?
Earlier this morning.
Okay, so you got it paid today.
Yes.
All right. So when are you gonna have the other about $1,100, $1,200?
My husband and I both get paid on the 11th. I don't know exactly what time the checks will be in, but I could have that in by the 12th.
Okay, let's do this then. And then you're gonna have to work, you're gonna have to try to work on your April rent, right?
Right.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find by no tribal issue, I'm gonna grant a judgment for possession in that total amount of 216102. They'll give you credit for the 1,000 that you've already paid. So then you have to get that balance, basically the 1,200 or 1161 and 2 cents. You have to get that paid, and you said you get a check on the 11th?
Yes.
Okay. And so what I'll do is I'll make the writ date the 14th of April.
Okay.
Okay, so that way you'll have till the 14th to get that part paid. None of this includes your April rent. So then you're
Right.
gonna have to work to your April done, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Sile Farms versus Alan Simons.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Alan Simons, not checked in. What are we here for? Order grant. This is your motion for
Yes.
entry and demolition of the home on site.
Yes.
All right. Alan Simons, hearing no response. Your order is granted. I've signed off on it.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Please swear in Timothy.
Yes, you may.
Timothy, you're in front of the Honorable J. Cedric Simpson of the 14th District Court, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Our number today is 1423.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We need your assistance with 2 matters. Can you please raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you'll interpret accurately, completely, and impartially, using your best skill and judgment, and to translate from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English in the manner now before the courts to help you God?
Yes, I affirm.
Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Interpreter.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Court does call the case of Spice Tree Apartments versus Pablo Hernandez.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Go ahead, Mr. Interpreter.
I'm sorry, what was that, Your Honor?
It was Spice Tree Apartments versus Pablo Hernandez.
Así tenemos a Spice Tree Apartments contra Pablo Hernández.
All right. Your name, sir?
Yeah. ¿Su nombre, señor?
Pablo Perez.
Pablo Pérez.
All right. This is the case for health and safety.
Este caso para casa y seguridad.
Counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. It's based on failure to properly prepare the unit for pest control services, which has resulted in the spreading of pests in the building.
Sí. Por fallo de presentar control de peste en el hogar que causó que vaya a afectar la especialidad.
Sí.
Yes.
Did you prepare your unit for pest control services?
¿Usted preparó su unidad para servicio de control de plagas?
Sí, es la primera vez que fallé en ese último vez que pasó del apartamento.
I'm sorry, it's difficult to hear. I'm going to ask him to repeat.
Okay, speak up.
¿Sí puede hablar más duro, señor? ¿Sí me puede repetir, por favor?
Esa fecha que mandaron la carta ahí del apartamento, no me fijé la fecha, por eso no estuve en esa fecha que vacié las cajas, ahí las cosas ahí del apartamento que mandaron en la carta del apartamento y por eso que fue mi primer error ahí que me mandaron en este caso que yo tengo ahorita, pero quiero saber qué motivo puedo hacer ahora.
I'm just going to confirm Mi honor. Para confirmar, digo que recibió la carta, pero no tenía la fecha y quería saber qué puedo hacer. So I received the letter, but it didn't have the date on it, which is the first error. And I was wondering what I can do in that case.
All right. Are the plaintiffs still in a position that they would allow him to prepare for extermination services?
I can confirm with my client to see.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Interpreter.
Sí, el defensor, el acusador está en defensa que va a poder permitir que se prepara para servicios de exterminación. Y la señora dijo que voy a revisar con mis clientes para ver.
¿Puede repetir, por favor?
Perdón, ¿cómo?
¿Puede repetir?
What did he say, Mr. Interpreter? The interpreter did?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Just gonna be that kid. Gonna be that kind of day. I lost my interpreter.
Yes. Do you solemnly swear that you will interpret accurately, completely, and impartially, using your best skill and judgment, and to translate from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English in the manner now before the court to help you God? Yes, I do, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, Heidi.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right. We're back on the record in the case of Spice Tree Apartments versus Pablo Hernandez.
Entonces, estamos aquí entonces para continuar el caso.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff again, Your Honor.
Madam Interpreter, she said Brianna Kingsley on behalf of the plaintiff.
Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure who I was interpreting for. Okay, sí, entonces yo soy Brianna Kingsley y aquí estoy en
Can you state your name again, sir?
¿Me puede decir otra vez su nombre completo, por favor, señor?
Me llamo Pablo Pérez Hernández.
Pablo Pérez Hernández.
What I will do is I will adjourn this to the 18th with the order that the defendant is to cooperate, properly prepare his unit for extermination services before that date.
Entonces lo que yo voy a hacer es que yo voy a aplazar esto hasta el 18 y esto es para que el defendiente o el acusado pudiera realizar esos servicios de exterminación para la propiedad en esa fecha.
And that is April 18th at 2 p.m.
Y esto es para abril 18 a las 2 p.m.
Okay.
And Your
Thank
Honor,
you.
Gracias.
Your Honor, is it sufficient if my client just posts a 24-hour notice then?
You can translate that, Madam Interpreter.
Y entonces sí sería entonces suficiente para que mi cliente pudiera poner un aviso de 24 horas.
Yes. Plaintiff may post 24-hour notice to the defendant.
Entonces sí, el demandante sí podría poner un aviso de 24 horas para el acusado.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, we have one more, Madam Interpreter. Ms. Kingsley, have a great weekend.
Thank you. You as well, Judge. It was nice to see you.
Good seeing you. Okay, Arbor Meadows versus Milton Reyes.
Hola.
Hello.
Go ahead, Madam Interpreter.
Hola, buenas tardes. Yo voy a ser su intérprete.
Okay.
Y esto sería Arbor Meadows contra Milton Reyes.
Okay.
Gabriel Lacey, P79685 for Arbor Meadows.
That's Gabriel Lacey on behalf of Arbor Meadows.
Y esto es Gabriel AC contra Arbor Meadows.
How much is plaintiff claiming is owed?
At this time, the rent.
Go ahead, Madam Interpreter.
¿Y cuánto es lo que dice el demandante que es la cantidad que se debe?
Debo $3,270.
$3,270.
Is that correct, Ms. Lacy?
At this time, the rent to retain possessions is $2,108.40 for a cost of $175. Total outstanding balance, $2,283.40.
Entonces, la cantidad que tenemos aquí como saldo que se debe es de 2,108,40 para poder tener de nuevo acceso a pertenencias, con un saldo que se debe también de alquiler de 175, sería un monto total de 2,283,40.
Sí. Yo recibí el cheque hoy de mi trabajo porque yo trabajé 3 meses para una compañía y no me pagaron. Estoy peleando en una corte por ese dinero, pero yo conseguí un nuevo trabajo y de este trabajo yo recibí $1,500 de pago, lo cual pienso darlos. Pero hoy me dieron el cheque, pero el dinero está hábil el día lunes después de las 2 de la tarde.
Gracias. I received a check from my job today. I was actually working with another company for 3 months, but they wouldn't pay me. This is actually something that I'm currently fighting in court right now. But this new job paid me today. I received a check for $1,500. I plan to give this money, but the check will not be available for me to use until Monday after 2 p.m.
Y si puedo pagar el resto del dinero en 2 semanas que recibe el otro pago, pago el resto del dinero.
And if I'm able to pay the remainder in 2 weeks, when I get another paycheck, I'll pay the rest.
I will find no tribal issue. I will issue a judgment to the plaintiff for possession for a total amount of $2,283.40.
Entonces yo no veo.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Entonces yo no veo ningún tipo de problema con ese hecho, ninguna tribulación con esto. Lo que voy a hacer entonces es que yo sí voy a otorgar entonces una sentencia para el demandante, para posesión de la propiedad, para el monto de 2,283,43.
Defendant would have to pay that by April 14th, 2025.
Y el acusado tendría que pagar este monto para abril 14 del 2025.
Ok, me parece muy bien. Ese día yo puedo pagar todo también. Ya tengo todo pagado.
Yes, that's fine. By that day, I will be able to get that paid off.
Si Dios lo permite.
If God permits.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you, Heidi. Wonderful job. Do appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. And thank you so much for using our services. Goodbye.
Yes, ma'am.
Goodbye.
You're leaving?
I am.
Bye. No, take care, Miss Lucy. You too. Court does call the case of Gulfside Lakes versus Patrice Haywood.
Your Honor, Jill Bauer, I have not entered an appearance, but I have been advising Ms. Haywood, and I did connect her with a rental assistance program. It's going to pay her balance of full, as far as I know.
Come on up, Ms. Haywood.
Will you accept Ms. Bauer's oral appearance as long as she follows it up in writing?
Do I need to enter an actual appearance?
I don't know why you guys don't enter appearances. You always say that you're advising these people, but that's what attorneys do.
I just don't want to get ghosted later or something.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
I'm such a ghoster.
Miss Haywood, how are you? All right, so somebody's gonna pay this whole, is that what's happening?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Haywood has submitted all the information asked of her. We're just waiting on the landlord to provide some information. And then I believe that they're going to cover her current balance plus April.
Plus April.
Yes.
You have any knowledge of that, Mr. Finker?
I got a request from Ms. Bauer yesterday evening and I forwarded it. I don't know whether the funds are coming if you adjourn it for a week or two. My only concern when I didn't know that she was going to have someone pay is that she would then have April run out the judgment.
Right.
It
But-
sounds like Ms. Bauer has a plan.
All right, for doing that.
Ms. Haywood, so you adjourn it. I want to understand.
He doesn't like me. Like her. He should go along with the plan.
I get it.
It wasn't.
No, I like Miss Haywood too. What? All because we care. All right. Hey, Miss Haywood.
I'd be happy to hear that Ms. Haywood is going to get nothing.
Miss Haywood, I knew was going to get it all taken care of. How you doing, Miss Haywood? All right. I'll adjourn this to April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. All right, Miss Haywood, you have a great weekend. Thank you. Gulfside Lakes versus Emmett Red Wine. Yeah, and here we go.
Hello.
Hello, hello, Mr. Red Wine. How are you?
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing okay. Okay,
Hey,
how much does he?
I was at your
How much
courtroom
does he
today.
owe? What do you say?
I was at your courtroom today.
Yes, sir.
I said I was there.
The cost is 2463.55.
2463.55. All right, Mr. Edwine, when are you gonna get that paid?
I paid 1,000 today.
Okay, when you gonna have the rest of it?
Okay, I'll have it. I can have it paid in 2 weeks for sure.
Okay, so here's what. Okay, listen.
Can I say something before you make your final
I can't
decision?
stop you from ever saying anything. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, because I never say this, but like man, I don't drive. So I catch a lift every day. I catch a lift to work. I catch a lift home. You know what I'm saying? Like I caught a lift 4 times a day. Caught it to work, caught it home, caught it to your courthouse, then caught it back home. So I spent like $90 just catching a lift today. So that's either here or there. If we can go a extra week out, so because I still have other bills, I had to pay my DTE bill, I had to get some groceries, I had to wash. So I would have had more pay, but I had to pay everything else. I'm like, oh man, I'm just that.
You done?
Go ahead, y'all.
No, I was gonna let you get your whole story out.
What I'm saying, if it's possible to go like like I said, I can have it paid for sure. I can have it paid 2 weeks tops for sure.
From 2 weeks. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do.
No, y'all ain't finished.
No,
I want to say the last thing. I want to say the last thing. But if I can get like an extra week out, that way I can take care of some things and have a couple of dollars in my pocket because I have to get back and forth to work every day. If I don't go to work, I can't do nothing. So that's, and I'm paying like anywhere from $60 to $80 a day back and forth to work. I have to go to work or I'm definitely in trouble.
That's the third time you've told me that.
Yeah, the same story. I ain't lying.
Okay, and I understood it the first time.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I apologize.
Okay, Mr. Red Wine. Here's
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm going to do. We did this the last time with you, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to find no tribal issue. I'm going to give them a judgment for the 2463.55, okay? Because we're at the end of the month. That way, I'm not going to include April in.
No.
And
But
then-
see, no, Your Honor, no. I paid 1,000 already on that.
I know, but they don't have it on their account.
Okay.
They'll give you credit for the 1,000.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I'm giving you to the 14th to get it paid.
Okay.
So that'll give you your 2 weeks out plus that weekend to get it into the landlord.
For sure.
Okay.
Okay. And what's the total?
All
Is
right, so
that-
they're gonna issue a judge. I'm gonna sign the judgment. You just gotta get everything paid by the 14th.
I have it done, Your Honor. But now can you give me that price?
Okay.
It was 24.
I'm gonna
what?
miss you. Bye. What?
Bye. Bye.
You're steady talking to me. Goodbye, Mr. Redwine. You have
See
a
you
great
later. Thank
weekend.
You as well, sir.
We're gonna get on another story, and then no telling when that would end. Was court does call the case. Gulfside Lakes versus Erica Hall. Erica, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Okay. Got the name right too, didn't I?
Yes.
See? Told you. You can teach an old dog new tricks. All right.
1776-68.
1776-68. Okay. Ms. Hall, how are you gonna get that paid?
If I could just get 2 weeks, I can clear it up.
You can clear it up? Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing I just did with red wine. And that is, I'm gonna find a I'm gonna issue a judgment for possession, finding no tribal issue. Okay?
Okay.
For that total amount of the 1776.68. And I'm gonna give you to the 14th to get it paid.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? Will that work for you?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm signing off on that judgment. You take care of yourself.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, I'll see you the next time, but get your April rent paid, and then we don't have to.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Gulfside Lakes versus Justin Willis. And yes, Karina Combs. Okay.
James Spector, the planner.
And you, who's in my screen here?
That's
Justin
me.
and,
Justin, my wife
And
Karina,
Karina.
sir.
okay. All right. How much is owed?
3789.28.
3789.28. All right. So you guys you did a state emergency relief, Hawk, and St. Vincent de Paul, right?
Yeah, the SCR was approved and the Hawk gave us an appointment date for April 9th at 10 a.m.
Okay, so how much did you get on your state emergency relief?
$740 from the SCR with a co-payment of $27.85.28.
Okay. So here's going to be our problem. Our problem's going to be, when's your appointment with Hawk?
April 9th at 10 a.m., sir.
Okay. How much is your monthly rent?
$1,559. I'll have April paid. It's just the rears, you
The
know.
back balance.
Yes, sir.
Right. I gotcha. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other parties. I'm going to find no tribal issue. I'm going to issue a judgment for possession. Okay.
Okay.
And when were you going to, hold on. When were you going to pay April?
It would be the 7th would be the first day. I just got a new job, so
Gotcha.
Hawk's aware of
Okay,
that, everything.
Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna issue a judgment for the 3789.28.
Okay.
What that will do is that'll lock that figure in. Okay, you'll have your April rent.
Yes.
But then when you're dealing with Hawk and with SER and St. Vincent de Paul,
right,
this is the number that you'll be working off of.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so we'll do that way. And an order of eviction will not issue till the 14th of April.
Great. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that way you can see if we can get this all wrapped up for you
Yes.
guys, okay?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Combs, anything you want to say?
No.
He was just hogging all the time.
I know.
All right. I didn't really want to talk to him, but you just sat there all quiet.
No, I usually do.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Very good. I just wanted to make sure you can get your airtime too. All right.
Thank you.
You guys take care. Have a great
you, sir.
weekend.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of Cherry Pie Rentals versus Mark Board. Mark Board or Boarde not checked in. And
Your Honor, this was a termination of tenancy on a month-to-month tenancy with a 1 month plus notice to quit. The call was entered on 2/28. The defendant filed his motion, but he did not give any reason.
I see that.
He did not advise on 1 month. Didn't give a reason for not appearing or a reason why the judgment should be set aside. We'd ask that he deny the motion, and I think the writ's already been issued.
Well, I'm signing the writ now.
Thank you.
Today is what, 3/28? And just so we'll do that, I signed the writ. I don't know what his monthly rent was, but escrow was posted in the amount of $360. So yes, escrow to be released to plaintiff. And the motion is denied. Yes. Court does call the case of Evergreen Apartments versus Idris Williams and Mohammed Kodalawasi. They were usually here. Pardon?
Mr. Williams.
Mr. Williams?
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Yep.
Okay,
One second. Give me 1 second. I'm turning my camera on. Oh, there we go. Hello?
Okay.
There we go.
Where are we on his case?
Balance is 24/21/12. I've got a note that he says he can pay, I think it was $1,200 on Tuesday.
So
monthly rent's about $1,200.
Yep. So what the conversation was between myself and Sydney, that is the property manager. She knows that I get assistance. I'm getting help from my grandma. I told you about this the whole time, the first time.
Yeah.
So she's trying to get it to me before on that Tuesday, but she said the latest it will get there is the Thursday is the 3rd, so that Friday I believe, and then I'm paying that rent, and then I'm still waiting for the my tax return, but I also told you that I applied for the SER. You told me that I had to send a different paper because I sent the wrong paper. I sent it in. I'm waiting for the response in the mail. I went and checked my mail before I came to football. I'm at practice right now. So it's just, I got I paid the $1,000 last week, well, earlier this week, I believe. I don't know. All the days are blurring together at this point. So I paid $1,000 to Evergreen, and then, yep, that's pretty much all I got.
All right.
So it's that, and then just waiting for the tax return because that's gonna be huge. And then SER.
All right.
Yep.
Young man, you're in school, right?
Yes, sir. Graduate April 27th, 2 days after my birthday.
You're actually going to graduate?
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. Don't know. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm kidding.
Look, I'm the same way. I'm over here working, doing football for free, and doing my job so I can get as many internship hours. And there's people signing off my name to get a job. So I'm just hoping that somebody will take a chance on me and give me the opportunity to stay and do what I love to do.
Well, I'll tell you, the way you conducted yourself during these hearings, I'm sure somebody is going to take a chance on you, and it'd be a well-earned chance that they'd be giving you, because something about you, I don't know what it is. Probably because you can pronounce your roommate's name, but that's all right. All right.
Unfortunately, we both have the same exact name, just in different ways. It's my little brother.
Gotcha. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to issue a judgment to the plaintiff. I'm going to do basically the same thing I've been doing all day. You paid the $1,000, so that brought it down from the last time we were here.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to enter that judgment for 24/21/12. Now, you said you're going to have you said you're gonna have 1,200 around the first or that first week.
Yes, sir. So next week.
And then that's gonna bring what you owe on this judgment down to about 1,200 or 1,300. When are you gonna have that?
So it's literally just what. So we put my tax return in. My mom, she got my ID and everything like that. She said she inputted it in for me. I got the email saying that it was inputted. So now I'm just waiting for the money to actually hit my account so I can pay it. I don't have an exact date. I hope it's done before I graduate because I'm trying to get all this from overhead. So yeah, that's just the situation of it. It's and then like I said, I applied for that SER.
How much is your monthly rent, young man?
Around $1,250 to $1,300. It depends on the utilities that month.
I gotcha. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna extend yours out a little bit more as a graduation present to the 18th.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, well, you're waiting on a tech. Mr. Fink overplaying this objection. I'm gonna have a writ date of April 25th.
Sorry, I thought I heard you say the 25th.
I
definitely heard you say plaintiff's objection.
Yes, overplaying this objection.
Wasn't courtesy until we got to the 25th.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. But well, I'm gonna give you to the 25th. You graduate on the 27th.
And that's
you said that's your birthday too?
April 25th is my birthday.
The 25th is your birthday?
Yes, sir. 2 days before I graduate. That's my last final that day.
All right. Well, okay. I'll give you to that to get this paid. This doesn't include your April rent. But that way, at least you'll be in good shape, okay?
Yeah, 100%. So, question for you then, just so I fully understand the situation. So I fully understand how I go about this. When I go with the 1,200 that I'm gonna have next week, when I pay that goes, is that because I got to go to the Speedway? That's where they do the mobile payment situation for I can't pay online. When I pay that's gonna go straight to my amount that I owe currently. That's being put on judgment, correct?
Yes.
All right.
All right. That'll be put on there as long as you get this amount, the 2412. As long as you get that all paid, then you'll be in good shape. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. And then
thank you, young man. Congratulations on graduation and happy birthday to you.
Thank you. Do I show up again to you guys at the moment? Do I have?
No, I don't want to see you again.
Thank you.
I didn't mean that like that.
No, I appreciate it.
No, you're all set, sir.
Thank you, sir. You have a great rest of your weekend, and hopefully I never have to see you again.
All right. You take care of yourself.
Right.
All right. Evergreen Apartments versus Lavina Kendricks Haynes.
James, thanks for the plaintiff. He has a hawk appointment on the first. If you say he could confirm that.
For permission.
Okay, does she have permission to tell the judge?
Yes.
All right.
She has an appointment on the first.
So let me put this out to, hello, your name?
Lavinia Kendricks Haynes.
All right. I didn't want you not saying your name. You are always here. I'll adjourn this out then to April 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m. All right. So I put it on the 11th. We'll hopefully be able to see as soon as you guys get finished talking. Are you guys done?
Well, I knew her late husband.
Okay. Ma'am, put your case over to April 11th.
Thank you, Judge.
2025 at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. You have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of Evergreen Apartments versus Matthew Chavez.
James, thanks for the plaintiff.
Mr. Chavez.
It's in Zoom. Chavez. I'm sorry, he's got one. Oh, okay.
Where's my video? Okay, can you see me?
Yep, we can see you. We can see you and hear you. All right.
Spectacular.
He was going to get an attorney, but how much does he owe at this point?
1723.18.
All right, same amount as last time. So, Mr. Chavez, Did you?
Yes.
Did you talk to an attorney on this case?
I was able to talk to him. Basically, that I don't owe this money. I don't understand why they won't take my ESA, but they have to because it's the law. So like they're charging me every pet rent every month. It's stacking up, and I have a letter from my doctor. You know
Have
what I'm
you
saying?
submitted
I
the
have everything I'm supposed to have.
documentation to the landlord?
I have. Your Honor.
Do you have anything that is within the past half decade?
Within the past half decade.
Like, do you have anything from
Yeah,
last
no,
year?
I submit. Yes, I submitted the letter from my doctor last year. Yeah, October of last year.
What date? What was the date of the doctor's letter?
I'm not sure, but if you give me 10 minutes, I can find out.
10 minutes?
October 13th,
Oh,
and
wait.
the date of the letter was August 29th.
This is my Evelyn housing worker.
Hi, Judge.
That's your Avalon housing worker?
Yes.
Okay, so
Judge, he moved in May of 2024 with a lease that says no pets and also says that they will, actually, McKinley allows pets as long as you register and pay for them. And there's a provision for reasonable accommodation for ESAs. This court knows it happens all the time.
correct.
And there's nothing current. And my client would be happy to work with him and maybe even adjust it.
I have the
All right,
email
Mr.
that I
Chavez,
sent.
Mr. Chavez.
Yes, Your Honor.
When was the last time you talked to your landlord about the information, your ESA information?
Every time I talk to them, I bring this up, and they come up with excuses why they have to keep paying.
Mr. Chavez, when?
Yes,
When's the last time you submitted documentation?
October.
And October 2024. Do you
Yes.
have that?
I don't have.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, folks.
We do a settlement conference.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Is it April 8th? I'm gonna set a final settlement conference, April 8th, 2025, 9 a.m. That's in
Okay.
person, no
in-person.
Zoom. So you'll have to come down to the court. I want you to bring
At 9
every
a.m.
piece of documentation you have regarding your animal.
You got it.
I can bring that for him, Your
Thank you, Your
Honor.
Okay, I don't care who brings it. I just need it.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't figure you
All
did.
right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day, weekend.
You do the same. I don't know why she's laughing. She's laughing because I'm having a hard time. That's you. No, don't look at the.
Here, here's what I'm
You
good.
know who I'm pointing at. All right. Glencoe Hills versus Angela Stoker.
James, thank you for the pleasure.
Hello.
Ms. Stoker, hello. All right, how much is owing?
7/20/37, and it says she's got a hot appointment on the 3rd.
Okay. And what's your monthly rent, Ms. Stoker?
I have Section 8.
So, okay.
I just pay the utility portions, but that varies as well, depending on
I got you.
and stuff. You know.
Okay, so, and you having a hawk appointment on what date?
On the 2nd, it's either the 2nd or the 3rd. It's in my calendar.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that's all right. So I'll adjourn this case out to April 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay?
Okay.
And we'll see where we are. Okay, Ms. Stoker, you have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Court calls case of Glencoe Hills versus Isaiah Little.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing all right. All right, Mr. Little, how much is owing?
I think it's like 26 something. I can't really remember.
Mr. Fink, how much does he owe?
26/61/20.
26/61/20. All right. Mr. Little, how are you gonna get that paid?
I was supposed to go through Hawk, but they want me to pay. They want to make sure that it doesn't go over $3,000 or something like that. So I'm gonna pay April's rent on Sunday, which is gonna be like $1,200, and then I'm gonna set up my appointment with Hawk and try to get the 26 paid by then. I had talked to my property manager.
Hold on, Mr. Little, do you mind if somebody tells me when your Hawk appointment is?
I don't have a Hawk appointment yet. I have to pay it so it doesn't go
Does
over
he?
3,000.
No. It says he applied. You applied. You don't have an appointment yet.
They want to make sure that it doesn't go over $3,000. So
Well, it's not over 3,000, but it will if we go to April.
Right. The April is in 2 days, right? That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to say. I'm sure they want me. I talked to my property manager about it. They want me to pay April's rent so it doesn't go over 3,000. Then I have to talk to Hawk to try to get the 2,600 paid. If not, I'd already talked to my property manager that I was still gonna pay May's rent and try to get on me and her was talking about trying to get on a payment plan to try to pay the rest.
Whoa, that's a lot. So here's what I'm gonna do. What do you? No. All right, Mr. Little.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to talk to the people at Hawk again. Okay. But here's what I'm gonna do, because
that's what I'm saying. The people at Hawk, it's already a thing just so that it doesn't go over $3,000. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I talked to the property manager. They want me to make sure that I paid the rent on Sunday, which I told them I am, the $1,200, so that it stays at $2,661, so I can still get help.
So you done?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see how hard it is to explain. Like, I'm trying to explain it the easiest as possible. Y'all making it sound like I'm talking Chinese or something.
No, Mr. Little, you're just doing the math a different way than I am. Okay, that's it. That's the only difference in what we're saying. I work from a different angle than you're working from. So here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Little. They don't want it to go over to 3,000. I get that. So I'm going to find no tribal issue. I'm going to grant a judgment for possession to the plaintiff in that total amount of the 2,661.20. You get that amount paid, then you can stay in your apartment. If you get with Hawk, that amount is frozen. You pay the other amount, which will be your April rent, and you'll be good. Got it?
Yeah, that was the plan, to pay April's rent and then get assistance from Hawk.
What's the date you're on? Okay, and so you don't have an appointment yet with Hawk, though, right?
No, I was gonna call them Monday and set the appointment up after I paid the balance on Sunday.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make your writ date the 14th, April 14th. So you got to get this paid by the 14th. So you need to call them. When you call them, let them know that the judge gave you to the 14th to get it paid.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Little. You have a great one.
You too, bro.
Yeah, hold on, Mr. Little.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Little.
Yeah.
Call. Don't wait till Monday. Call now.
Okay, call them now.
Call them now.
Okay.
Okay. You have that number with you?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Call them today.
All right.
Right now.
I'll call them right now.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Hamilton Crossing versus Jessica Jackson.
Hi, Your Honor.
Hello, Miss Jackson. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I don't know yet. Are you going to give me a problem?
No, sir, I am not.
All right, then I'm good. All right. All right, Mr. Fink, how much is owing on Miss Jackson?
415 and some change.
415 and some change. I'll write that down.
415 even.
415 even. All right. So, Miss Jackson, how are you going to get that paid?
I paid $315 today.
You did?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so when are you going to have that other 100?
Next week.
Okay. And how much is your monthly rent?
I don't know because it went up. I think it's $6. Last time I checked, it was $635.
Okay. And so when are you going to get that paid, you think?
In 2 weeks after so I get paid next week and then 2 weeks after that. I don't have a calendar.
Okay, I got you. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I believe that you paid the $350. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grant a judgment for possession, finding no tribal issue after a hearing for the $415. All right, you're gonna get that paid next week because you got the $315 in, and then you got 100 more or so you got to pay.
Yeah.
So get that paid, then you're all set. And I won't have a written this case issue until the 11th, April 11th. But get that paid, and then you'll be all set, and then you can pay your April rent that following week after the 11th. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You take care, Miss Jackson.
You too. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too. Court calls the case of Hamilton Crossing versus Tiffany Roots. She's right here. Oh, she went and checked in. Come on now. You're okay. You were being nice and not laughing at me having a problem like that one. Your name? All right. How much is owing? Oh, never mind. You guys go ahead. I'll just be up here a figurehead.
No, you're right, but she owes 1811.
No.
Your Honor, I made a payment.
Today?
$975 today.
Got it.
I also had a meeting, a phone conversation with my worker because I put in for an SCR. So we're working on her covering. The only balance is $710.
Is what you think you owe left?
Yeah, and
Okay.
they're a total that they'll cover the 700. So they were waiting for me to pay off the balance. My portion is paid. And
You got 4 people in your unit, in your house?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why, 740. Okay. All right, so here's. And so they're just waiting for you to pay off the one part, then they were gonna pay the 740. How much is your monthly rent?
$1,145.
Okay, what's your plan for April?
It'll be paid. I'm on track. It'll be paid on the 4th.
On the 4th?
Should we skip this for the 11th?
Yeah, let's do that and see if we can get a dismissal out of it, okay? So you put the other, so I'll set it April 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m. So if you got that paid, if you get your SER, if that gets approved, and then you make that payment, it's likely going to be dismissed on that day. Okay?
Can I ask a question? They gave me a receipt with the total balance that being $710. Is that include court costs?
Yep. Uh-oh, we got to get the lady. We got to get her out. No, not the one behind you. You in black. Yeah. You look like you were falling asleep. No, it's okay. I'm getting bored too. This is not boring. Oh, okay. Well, glad we could be a part of your entertainment.
This is the total this year, 975, 836, and the court costs are 176, 76. Sounds like there's something between there. You're good?
Yes. Okay.
You guys work it all out? So I'll adjourn this out April 11th, 2025, 1 o'clock. Thank you, man. You'll have to fill out a form for Zoom. Can you give her one? Yeah, you don't want to come up here. I don't know if he'll shoot or not. All right, thank you, ma'am. You too. Court does call the case of New Park Ridge versus Karina Jones. Karina Jones. I know. Oh, okay. Hello, Miss Jones.
Hello.
It's 1061.
All right, you owe $1,061. When do you think you can get that paid?
I can have 600 on Monday.
Okay, and then when's the next time you can make another payment? Like of the 461?
The week after that, I can make a payment on Thursday.
Can you pay that whole amount, or what are you telling me?
No, I'm not going to be able to pay the whole amount. I'll be honest, I'm really like trying to play catch up now. But I do work, and I get paid every 2 weeks, so I'm trying
So you
to,
get the
basically
next. So you can get 600 by Monday.
I mean, I got money right now, but office is closed, so I can't go pay them. So that's the reason why.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to issue a judgment for that amount, the 1061. All right. I'll issue them a judgment for possession. And then I'm going to have your writ date, or the date you got to get this paid by, of April 18th. Okay.
Okay.
Because what that'll do is that'll get you through that one check and then the next check. Okay.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is that it for you?
Well, yeah, we had one more, Michael McFall, but I think I turned in a satisfaction.
What? About what? What case is it?
Your Honor, I just.
I don't hold it, folks. I didn't call a case. So what do you? I don't know, because I think Mr. Fink mentioned a name. The next thing you know, came up.
I would just
and
like
then
you to order the escrow released in a case number 0332 to the plaintiff. We turned in a satisfaction. We just need the escrow released now.
Okay, is that your case? What's your name? Okay, so you had a question, and I'm telling you, I don't have a case and I don't have a file in front of me because the satisfaction got turned in. What's your question?
So I posted 950 escrow in order for me to come in. The escrow still hasn't been released, so I want to figure out what's going on with the escrow. I just looked at my ledger and it said that I owe $1,600 still because the escrow hasn't been added and they've already added.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
That's what he just asked.
Okay,
But
and then the other question that I had was they sent me a written file for eviction. I just want to make sure that's going to be off my face ever since that's satisfactory.
Yes, Your Honor, I can explain this to my client. And I just want to put on the record, Ms. McFall has requested that plaintiff turn her portal back on so she can take her.
You're going to email me.
I already did. Okay, but I can explain.
Charged.
Yeah, she doesn't.
do you guys need me? I mean, because if you don't need me, I can. So, Ms. McVale, here's what we're going to do. We're going to release the, ma'am, don't disrespect me, please. Come back up here. Come back up here.
Your Honor, reproach.
Yes. All right. Just, Ms. Bauer, hold on a moment. Look, young lady, I don't have a case in front of me. That's why it makes me difficult to say anything. But what everybody's telling me is the same thing, okay? And that is that you paid money in escrow. I remember you. How much do you have? She's got 950 in escrow. When did she pay that in escrow?
February 18th.
You don't have an order from me releasing it yet, right?
No, just a request from Mr. Fink's office via email.
Okay. So the reason the escrow is still sitting with us is because we didn't get a request to release it. I wouldn't release your money unless either you told me to do that or Mr. Fink's office. So now I have the request. You're telling me to release it. I'm gonna release it to them. It will get on your account. Okay? Then, Mr. Fink, you sent an email to him so she can get their portal reopened so that then she can pay her April rent. Because the 950 catch you up? Credit in April, right? Okay,
Judge, I'm gonna do it before I leave the court.
good enough. Okay?
I think Miss McFall has really worked hard and I think she just.
No, I know. And I remember her being up here. I remember her trying to get it through. And the problem is that when a satisfaction comes in, I don't get the case. That's why I don't have your case out here. And so the answer to your question is, we will get that escrow released. It'll be applied to your account. It's going to take a few days for it to get out of here. It'll be applied to your account. You should see it on your account. He's going to get your portal reopened, and then it's all going to be set. Okay? Any other question? Thank you. You have a good weekend. BMC Rio LLC versus Nettie Whitlow.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Defense counsel was here earlier, but he stepped out a bit ago. He's not back.
Yeah, you realize that there is a bankruptcy still?
Yes. And that's what I wanted to inform you about.
Okay, so.
Yes, sorry. Ian Redmond, P70599.
Go ahead.
On March 25th, a bankruptcy was filed by apparently the nephew of Nettie Whitlow. And in his petition, he states that he is renting the property, which seems questionable concerning there was a foreclosure and redemption period that expired a year ago. And my client now owns the property. He's not renting it from my client. Additionally, he is apparently a student at Arizona State University. He's here. Good.
All right. Your appearance, your name, sir.
Greetings, Your Honor. Henry Quinlan on behalf of the defense. P56556.
All right. So go ahead, Counsel. You were explaining.
So what we would like is an adjournment of this for, say, 30 to 45 days while we deal with the bankruptcy filing. And I expect that similar to the two previous bankruptcy filings, we'll be right back here.
Okay. So here's probably, so the problem is I have to stay the proceedings. I typically do not set a date. So whenever you guys get whatever work done in bankruptcy court, all you have to do is ask that it be reopened, and we reopen it. We'll give you a date.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, Jim. All right. Sorry for making you wait. If I had known it was here, we would have met you earlier. Wouldn't have made you wait through Jim Fink.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Take care. You guys have a great weekend. Sycamore Meadows versus Monique Hatch.
Good afternoon, Judge. Christopher Asphalt, 5.129 on behalf of the plaintiff.
All right, Monique Hatch.
Yes, Judge, we're requesting an adjournment.
Okay. I'm not supposed to have a docket on the 11th, but I've been putting some cases on the 11th, or I have the 18th. Which would you?
I'm going to do the 18th.
All right. Turn this matter to April 18th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Ms. Bauer, that was on the Hatch matter. I went to the 18th.
Okay.
On that. Hamptons of Clover Lane versus Tiana Pitts. Was that it for you, Counsel? Yep. This is yours? Okay. Tiana Pitts? Oh, there she is. Okay. Hello, what's your name? And how much is what's plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, currently there's rent, including all court costs, $4,520.99. The parties have come to the terms of consent judgment, if I can put it on the record.
Yes, sir.
The defendant agrees that she owes $4,520.99. She's going to pay that as well as April's rent and late fee in the amount of $2,134. She's going to pay all of that by before April 11, 2025, or a written issue.
Yes, Your Honor. So the main is the past due. I came to the agreement that I will pay April's by April 11th.
April, say that again. What's your understanding?
That the past due and April's will be paid on April 11th.
Okay.
But the main focus is the past due of the
45-20-99. Okay, when you say that's the main focus, what do you mean?
So I did ask for the April's late fee to be waived. They did not agree, so that's when I stated that I'll pay April's by April 11th. But if they're already applying the late fee of April's, then it will be paid in April.
All right. Okay. Problem is, well, it's not a problem. But what counsel's telling me, what you're telling me, seem to be two different things, and I have to make sure that it's a true understanding. You could pay certainly you could pay the $4,520.99 by the 11th. That's right. Okay, that's why you kept saying that's the main focus.
Yes, that's what we do.
Right. The April's rent, are you going to be able to have that on the 11th? Or listen to my full question. Are you going to be able to have that on the 11th? Or do you feel that you're going to be kind of pressured into having that on the 11th? You're not sure. Which one?
The second.
Okay, so let me ask you this. When are you going to have your April rent?
In April.
It's sometime in April. All right. All right. I'm not going to enter that consent judgment. I will enter the consent judgment for the rent that's due today. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this, counsel, that I would extend her writ date to the 11th because I've been giving people to the 11th to get paid. I realized the normal writ date would be the 7th. And then she would just need to understand her judgment doesn't include April. You have to get that in. If they file for April, then you might have additional court costs. Okay. So that's what I would do, counsel, because I think she's agreeing to something that she'll find a way to do, but may not. Okay. So I will enter a judgment for possession by consent. Total judgment amount be $4,520.99. That's so April's not included in that, with a writ to issue April 11th, 2025. Now, ma'am. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to make sure that April's rent is not included.
April's rent is not included, as I'm entering it as she owes today. All right. So, ma'am, that is a consent judgment. And I do have to advise you, because you're unrepresented by counsel, you have 3 business days to think about this. If you believe that there's some legal reason, some right you didn't assert, or some misunderstanding on your part, you'd have to file a motion with the court within that time frame. It doesn't mean that I would grant it, but you'd have that time to file that. You understand? All right. Thank you. You have a judgment for me? Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend. Arbor House Apartments versus Jasmine Branch.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mark Lando on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hello. What's your name?
Yes.
Okay. And Got it. And what's the claim how much is owing at this point?
$7,707.24 inclusive of court costs.
All right. And I don't know if your records reflect, I have 2,000 in escrow that she posted.
We are aware of that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
But they are going to pay 2,000 and I was going to pay 1,500 more on Friday.
So you're going to pay 1,500 more this Friday coming up.
I've been working with Friends and Needs. I'm working with Savings and People.
Okay, I got you. So
this Friday, I'll have 15, that's not including the public.
okay, so if I just round that to 57 that you owe, and you're going to pay 1,500 this Friday.
Yeah.
She's going to bring you to 42. And then you're working with Hawk.
Yes, I talked to them this morning, actually.
And
they talked to the landlord. They called Dina.
Okay, so they're waiting on landlord
Yeah,
documents. Do you mind if Amy helps verify some of this for me?
Yeah.
Okay. She has to get to the 3.
Asset spreadsheet. She didn't reach out to me. Yes, for her. Maybe you can check.
Yeah, she didn't know that I paid 2,000 of that, no. So
That's part of why. So let me ask you this, ma'am. How much is your monthly rent?
$1,599.
Okay. So the problem's going to be, it's actually going to go up to 5,800. I mean, because when April clicks in, you'll pay the 15, but when April clicks in, you're going to go up 100 because you're 100 short, right? So when are you?
I get paid every 2 weeks. So this Friday, next Friday, well, not today, but next Friday. I'll have 15, then after that, I'll be caught up.
Pardon?
In 2 weeks, I'll be caught up.
By what date? So 2 weeks from this upcoming Friday, the 18th?
Yes.
And you're going to pay 15 on the
Friday.
4th. And then you don't have anything until the 18th. Is that right?
I just picked up a second.
Here's what I'm going to do, Mr. Landau. I'm going to let that rent click in, but she's going to pay that 15 directly to the landlord. So I'm going to indicate to release the $2,000 to plaintiff. Indicate on here that defendant's going to pay $1,500 on the 4th directly to the landlord. Okay. And that's going to be basically half the balance that you've got now. I'm going to give her then a shot. I realize April's going to click in, but if she's working with Hawk, then she might be able to get herself caught up. I'm going to adjourn this out to April 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay. Get what you can get paid. If you got your second job, get that down below 3, keep in touch with them, and let's hope that we get this worked out. Fair enough?
Yeah.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Judge, is there an order that you'd like me to enter in that regard?
No, that's okay. That's okay. We'll send the escrow out, and then she'll pay that 15, and then we'll see exactly where she's at. What we just had to do is get it close enough where Hawk's going to kick in and start rolling.
Thank you, Judge. The one thing that I didn't get, that I tried to hear, is what her intention was in terms of paying on April 18th.
She's going to cut, the balance is going to be paid by April 18th, but I want the other funds to get in. And she can't pay the balance until Hawk sort of rolls on it. That's why I did it this way.
I understand.
So hopefully what will happen is Hawk will get her once she gets that down, then Hawk can get her all cleared up.
Very good.
All
Thank you,
right.
Judge.
Thank you. Legends of Rosewood Village versus Betty Ferguson.
Mark Lander for the plaintiff.
Betty Ferguson. Oh, she's no longer in Zoom. So, would you like to take a default?
Yes, Your Honor. We are seeking the entry
Raise
of a
your right
default.
hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. I
Go
did
ahead.
at the 8:30 docket, but there might be an expiration date on
Okay,
expiration.
yeah.
We're seeking entry of a default judgment of possession for non-payment of rent. The rent owing is $4,460 plus $180 in court costs. Total is $4,640 with a writ issue if not paid in 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession, redemption amount, any amount requested with a writ issue in 10 days.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You do the same, sir. Forrest Knoll versus Rebar Hirori.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Paul Hewitt, P 31986, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name, sir?
Rebar Hiruri.
All right. And this is your motion to set aside? I don't have a reason. There's no reason on here why you're asking the court to set it aside.
I had two different dates. They have me for March 14, and then day before March 14, I got another letter that says my court date is March 17. So I come back on March 17. They said,
March
"Oh no,
17th.
it's March 14."
Who told you March 17th?
I got that paper. It says March 17. I got a paper in the court. I got in the mail. I can show it to you.
For this court hearing?
Yep. I got one for March 14, and I got another one at March 13. Says that your court date is March 17.
You see anything in it?
See anything about the 17th? Show first hearing is on the 14th. Or judgment.
Right. And his next hearing would have been the 21st, if anything.
Yeah,
Judgment was at-
I have it right here. I have it on my hand. It says March 17.
Let me hold it up again.
What's the case number on it?
Yeah.
Same
What's the
case
case
number
number
on
at
it.
the top?
Exactly same case number as the old one.
Well, what's the case number? Read it.
It's 251C0817.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do in this case. I'll release the $1,400 in escrow to the plaintiff. I have 1411, Mr. Hughes.
Thank you.
I'll release that escrow. How much is your monthly rent, sir?
1411.
All right. So I'm going to release that rent. I'm going to adjourn this matter to April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. Sir, you need to show up with that piece of paper. I want to see it because I have
Yes, sir.
nothing in my file that reflects the 17th at all. And I better
Yeah, I
make
have it.
sure that that document hasn't been doctored. So I want it brought to the court.
My copy says the 14th.
Yes.
Yeah, mine says the 14th too. He's saying he got something else that says the 17th, but it's not in the court file. It's not anywhere. So you can keep holding that up all you want. It doesn't really matter to me. April 11th, 2025, 1 p.m. Escrow's released to plaintiff at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Forrest Knoll versus Dana Lynch.
Paul Hewitt, P 31986, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hi. How am I doing? I don't know. How are you doing? You really? I can. You want to hear it? No, no. Wow. 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 Just hurt my feelings. Just it wouldn't even die. All right, fine. All right. What do you have owing on this, Mr.
Thank you, Judge. With court cost of $165, the total amount due is $2,961.
All right. Have you met with Hawk?
Yes, I had an appointment yesterday. They told me that it's in process.
It's in process, but you don't know yet. Okay, how much is your monthly rent?
Well, as of right now, it's like 314, I would say, but as of April, it's 140. I would say about 147.
Okay, you're gonna have your April rent?
Mhm.
Okay, so let's do this. Let me adjourn this out to the 11th. Let's see what Hawk says. April 11th to the
10th, which is the same date as the one you just did.
Was that the 11th?
The 10th, I thought you said.
No, the 11th.
11th for the other one?
Did I do? Oh, yeah, both of them on the 11th.
That guy's gonna be screwed up again on dates.
Who? No, he's not.
Okay.
I said the 11th. You may have heard the
I heard it
10th.
wrong then.
We took a vote in the courtroom. I said the 11th.
Perfect. I lose.
All right. We'll see you on the 11th. Yeah. All right. Thank you. The one that doesn't care about any problems the judge is having, just didn't seem to care. Just, no, I don't want to hear your problem, Judge.
I was
Never.
just hoping that I would get out of here before the Michigan State game started.
Yeah, well, I'm working as hard as I can.
I know you are.
Thank you.
I think
Willow Ridge. All right, take it. Willow Ridge Apartments versus Keanu Williams.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sidney Katz on behalf of plaintiff.
And hello.
Hello.
What's your name? Okay. Yeah, there is one in the phone. All right. And plaintiff's claim in this case is that she owes $21.48.
Yes, she made a payment today, Your Honor. I've been around listening to the court today, so I sent in a proposed consent with a writ date of the 14th. Does not include April rent.
Got it. The total amount of that judgment is $21.48. It's $19.73 plus $175. So that should be out. That should be through March. It shouldn't include April at this point.
So the original amount for 45.62, which is all taken care of now. That's
Well, last time we were here, you were at 5409. Okay, you made a significant payment, regardless, right?
Yeah.
So that brought the total down to 1973 plus 175 costs, 2148. There's a judgment amount. There's a judgment for that amount, giving you until April 14th to get that paid. Do you think you can do that? Well, do you think you can do it?
I could definitely have 15. The rest will be a struggle, but if it's necessary, we'll make it happen.
Okay.
Are we allowed more time? Is he comfortable with more time?
Well, he's actually giving you an additional week over what he would, what it would be anyway.
Then we'll make the 2048 work.
All right.
If the payment is made prior to the, I'm sorry, because I travel on the 11th for business. If the payment is made in full before our court date,
Well, I won't give you another court date.
well, I'm just saying, can my husband attend in my,
Pardon?
can my husband attend in my place? Because I'll be traveling for work.
Well, you won't have another court date
Oh,
for
okay,
me.
I get you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's your husband?
Yes.
So he just stands there, does it? No, that's cool. That's cool. You have him so well trained. No, you have him so well trained. He came up here, he just stood there. You see that? Said nothing. Said nothing. You were handling everything. He just stood there quiet, didn't say a word. I'm like, I don't know who this is. She got a bodyguard and everything. Yeah, I don't know. He just said nothing.
Okay.
All right. He wasn't even trying to whisper in her ear, like help her out or anything. He just said, I'm just here. All right. Okay. You folks think you can get it paid by then?
Yes.
All right. Then what I'll do is I'll enter that consent judgment. Since you are underrepresented by counsel, I would need her to sign here. Sign it, date there. Pardon? No. So I will also advise you that since you're unrepresented by counsel, this is a consent judgment. You have 3 business days to think about this. All right. If you believe that there's some right you didn't assert, some misunderstanding, some confusion on your part, you have to file a motion with the court within those 3 business days. Doesn't mean that I would grant the set aside of it, but you have those 3 business days to do that. Understood? You understand too? All right. Thought I checked. Okay. You folks have a wonderful weekend.
You too, thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good weekend. I think
right,
I'm gonna have my
take care.
wife stand in for me next time. Might work
Yeah,
out better.
absolutely. You know, it seems to work out. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Wenfu's Trim versus William Dunleavy. Hello.
I have some jobs.
Okay.
And this is my husband, Brian Trim.
All right. Okay. And where are we on this?
Bill has made progress toward moving out.
Okay.
He's almost out of the house, and he's requesting an adjournment for another week to give him a little more time to get his stuff out of the garage. And we're fine with that.
Okay.
So we just, again, I don't know if you recall, we just really want to.
No, I recall. I recall. So what I'll do then is my next date really is the 18th. I mean, I can see on the 11th, it's going to be another crazy docket like today's date. So.
This was crazy.
Huh?
This was crazy.
Well, this wasn't as crazy, but
we feel for you.
It could have been worse. But I'm going to actually get home today, I think.
The security said it could go to 10 o'clock.
No, I have before, but no, that wasn't happening today. All right, why don't I do this? Because I know you guys are trying to work everything out with each other. So let me adjourn you to the 11th, 2025 at 1 p.m. It'll be another kind of mass call docket, but we'll try to get you guys in now. Okay, does that work for you?
Oh,
Zoom or probably in person.
It'd probably be better in person so you can sign off on the judgment and everything. What you may want to do before that date, because you're going to want a money judgment,
that's what
is, and I can only go up to 25,000 so that you know for the money judgment portion.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
EOS 3409.
I know. I see the number. So we'll figure something out. But pick up a judgment form before you come in. That way you guys can go through all the terms and everything.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you guys. Thank you for your patience. Carla Green versus Dustin Mickle. And Antoinette. Yeah. All right. You guys are on the wrong side, but don't worry.
Oh.
All right.
Good job.
Your name? And Dustin. And
My wife Antoinette.
okay. She can introduce herself. I don't know why. Got it. All right.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Where are you folks on this case?
All right, well, I did speak to legal services as you requested, and they're not entirely, they don't know if they're going to fully take the case on, but they do want to do some investigating about the housing voucher being taken like that.
Yeah.
There must be some type of something illegal or something that happened, because they can't just do that, but they were asking for 2 weeks.
And so, Ms. Green, so that you understand, that was when I was sort of hesitating the last time. It's because it's unusual that all of a sudden their voucher goes away. right? And I'm not sure why that was. And I don't know if you know. You do?
Yeah, so IH working with them in October the 24th, she sent out an email saying that they're not no longer with the state giving those vouchers out anymore. And so we showed them proof that we filled out the paperwork. And Mr. Nichols, me and him worked hand in hand. I kept on saying, I heard something from Section 8, I heard something from Section 8. Well, they stated, Hugh, the director of the company stated that Section 8 just said they closed the vouchers. Just like that. And so in October, they knew they had to contact legal aid. It's in writing. And so I don't know. I kept on telling them, y'all gotta do something. Because Tracy even told them to contact legal aid back in October.
Tracy.
Tracy, their worker.
Okay.
They was in the homeless shelter
Gotcha.
for 2 years. But 2 years was up this February, even though last year it was 2 months. Last year the lease was up because they already had stayed a year. This made the second year, so the lease went to month. So in October we was trying to work this out with in October, and she had just had her baby, and so I knew that he worked real hard, and it was so hard for him to delegate what he had going on. And so now we're here. I gave a 30-day notice in January.
No, I see.
And I just
Okay.
please.
No, I know. And so where are you guys in reference to moving?
Sir, we have put in at least 24 applications. And the housing size that we need, they're wanting me to pay, I can pay, $1,600 to $2,000, but they want me to make 3 times the rent. They want my credit score to be a 675. So they keep denying me. And the places that will accept me, I don't have Section 8. So they don't even want to deal with me, even though it's just like, I just can't take my family, like I explained to Carla, I just can't take my family and just be out the house.
Okay. So go ahead.
If it's okay to say something else?
No, go ahead.
And at first, the housing voucher was going good, but then at first they didn't want to deal with the program because they were asking too many questions or whatever the reason. I don't know what the reason was, because the communication should have been between my landlord and my caseworker, Tracy Bundley, but she was not communicating with her due to a disagreement between the two parties, and we were just,
Judge, we were hanging in the balance, basically, between the two. We didn't know half of the information that was being stated from our worker, because she was not coming in, talking with us, giving us information that we needed to have until she wanted us to sign something. That's when she would come and bring us paperwork, and we would sign it.
Where's this worker from?
She's from Rapid Rehousing, the program.
And she just got a promotion.
Well, I don't care about that. What I'm worried about. All right.
Judge, honestly, if I don't have a housing voucher, I'm really.
No, I know. Well, that
I have
was
9 people.
well, that was. Listen, I've been doing this work for a while, and that was the one thing that I realized when you guys were on last time. If you don't have a voucher, I don't know how you house 9 people. You want your house back, which would be fine, and maybe a whole lot easier if they have a voucher. Go ahead.
Actually, I don't want to deal with the voucher. That's what she was saying.
No. It doesn't matter whether you want to deal with it. It's where they go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you even keeping them. The problem is, in the normal circumstance, what would happen is you'd want them out. They had a voucher. Let's say they just had a family of 3. You have a voucher, then they have to go and they can find a place. Basically relocating that voucher and move in. Problem here is I got more people trying to move them and no voucher. Because if what you want, if that voucher was improperly taken, in some way, then what you want becomes a whole lot easier to accomplish. Because otherwise, what's going to happen is, let's say they don't move, then you're going to be paying to pay somebody to move them out of that house. I don't think you want to do that either. Let me ask you this. Because right now, I'm inclined to give the adjournment to let them investigate it, because this doesn't sound right. The whole thing just doesn't sound right to me, that all of a sudden they say, we're not doing those vouchers anymore. If you had to, how much was rent, the base rent when the voucher was paying? Not, I don't care who was paying it. What do you mean there never was?
He had got accepted for his voucher. We were going through stages of getting the inspection done, and so we can be able to start using. He never got to use his voucher.
So he never was issued a voucher.
He never got to use.
That's a whole different ballgame. So
I'm sorry, sir. I was issued the voucher based on them doing the inspection of the place. Now, the first time they did the inspection, when Section 8 did the inspection, they counted it as an initial inspection, even though we had already been there.
Well, hold on, because you guys now have me confused. There was never, so you never got a Section 8 payment?
No.
She was getting paid through rapid rehousing. They were paying,
yeah, but they're only gonna pay for a certain period.
And like the period was up in February.
February
This year was their last payment.
was the last payment of the rapid rehousing, because then what should have taken over is you should have gotten your voucher, that should have been in place, and that you should have been doing.
and sir, that's the reason.
Well, no, hold on. So that's where it was confusing in my mind. So you got paid by rapid rehousing, but you never got paid on a voucher.
Never.
Because you weren't issued a voucher.
I was issued a voucher.
He wasn't issued a voucher that really made it a voucher, so they never started paying it off.
You didn't get a payment if they paid in February, you didn't get a payment in March.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. So Your Honor, what I was trying to tell them as well is, so rapid rehousing, they only let you stay there for 2 years.
Gotcha. Okay. And there's no lease at this point.
And the reason there was no lease because Section 8, the only reason we were given this house due to the amount that we had to pay to move in and due to the high, they usually don't pay this much when it comes to rent, but they did because the voucher was gonna take over.
Right.
That's why there was no lease after last year.
Hold on a moment. So the problem is so what I said before, what makes it easier for the landlord is if you have a voucher. It also makes it easier for you in terms of moving. That's fine if you had a voucher and somebody may have taken it and done something with it, because then it could potentially be reinstated, you could move, they get their house, everything's fine. Problem here is, what I'm hearing is there actually was never a voucher. So you don't really have that voucher to take, like somebody can't come along and say, oh, mistake, you still have your voucher and then move. That's not what this case was, because understanding that now, that's a whole different thing.
We had got a paper in the mail, sir, that said, the time has passed to use your housing vouchers. Like I said in the beginning, she didn't even want to take the program due to whatever was.
Well, she didn't have to take it. I mean,
so when I talked to her, basically, I'm like, it's the house that I need. And I spoke to her, father, as a husband, it's like, this is what I need, whatever I need to do, I'm willing to do it. She was like, okay, we'll take it. And then so we started the process again because they wanted me to find another house rather than a house that I was in. Still.
Okay, just listen. all of that will be fine, except for the fact that the cold-hearted reality in this is you're gonna have to move. It just becomes a rougher journey for you because I don't think that that voucher, there isn't a voucher. So, and so to understand where my head was at initially, had there been a voucher and somebody says, okay, we're not paying, or we're stopping it for whatever reason, that's not how that would work, where they come along and say, we're not doing that anymore, right? That's not how that would work.
They also took it because, on our part, it was turned in on time, but they turned the paper in late when it came to.
Well, I can't go back and do anything with that. The only thing that I can say is there wasn't a voucher. All right. Had they been paid, but they were being paid through a different program. They weren't being paid on the voucher. Had they been paid on the voucher, then I would say, okay, I'm adjourning this out because we got to find out what happened to that thing. And it's going to make it easier on everybody. Right now, this is a circumstance where I don't know that the adjournment is going to do anything because I don't think anybody's going to issue a voucher in 2 weeks.
I just want to give them time to investigate. That's all.
Well, but the investigation isn't gonna. You got paid in February.
She had contacted us, that both of us know, Tracy, that they're been expired for the program. They give you 2 years to sit on this program, and after February was the deadline. So she emailed us in October
To tell us it would expire. And then your last payment came in February.
My wife offered her a payment in March. She said,
I
we don't
did not
want
text
any
them.
partial payment.
They said they didn't want no partial payment.
And we didn't say it was gonna be.
All right,
partial
look,
payment.
okay, I get it.
I had been asking her, what if we could pay the $2,600? Could we stay? Well, I just want to sell the house. Well, if there's a first homeowners program that we could get into, because I said it's gonna be.
Okay, I know, I hear you, and all of that's fine, except that they're gonna be entitled to their property. The real question is how much time is it gonna take you guys to move? And I know, given the circumstances, that's a hard question to even begin to try to answer.
An answer, because we've been trying to move since.
Okay, let me try from the other end. If I give you a judgment.
as soon as possible. Your Honor, when they came to.
Okay, but look, folks, here's the problem. Do you have the money to pay to move to have people move them out? Because that's what has to happen.
It's gonna cost me less to have them moved out versus me going, wait months and months. This is costing me, I'm falling deeper and deeper.
You guys are not.
My property. I did proper things to get it back. Did I do the right thing to get my property back? Did I follow the right channels?
But did you say you were gonna understand, because you've been in this position before? Did you just say that to my house, to me and my wife, or to my kids? Yes,
This
you
is my
did.
first time renting this house out. This is my last.
But,
No, she's talking about the being homeless
Folks,
part.
As soon as
you guys can go back and forth, and it doesn't matter.
I understand.
It really doesn't matter. Okay. All right. The cold-hearted reality is I don't think you understand how much it would cost to empty a house because all of that stuff is out there. I understand that you're going out of the world backwards. I also understand that if you don't get all of that property out of the house, then that's going to be a problem on you. Okay? You, on your side, don't understand that you're going to have to figure out something.
We're just gonna be homeless again.
Okay,
So
I don't, listen. There is not a good answer to any of this. For either side, because you don't want to keep going into the hole financially, right? You got to find a place to put your family. But there isn't an issue for me to should try in the case. The issue is going to be how much time to try to give to not cause more of a burden on the landlord to do what they have to do, and at the same time give you guys an ample opportunity to do what you got to do.
Because when I went down to the court, they told me this was the legal way to do it. And I would have 7 to 10 days. And I feel like in October, this was already on the floor. I feel like this
What do you mean?
When I went to go file, I've been sitting in the courtroom and we've been issuing our writs for 10 days and 7 days. Like, where did my right come in? I don't know the rights to this. That's why I'm asking the question. When I went down to file the paperwork, they told me these are the proper channels to do.
I'm not saying that you didn't follow the proper channels. Did I say any of that?
No, that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to understand the question.
Well, hold on a second. Did you? Was there a lease? Was there a lease?
Yeah, when we first moved in. Yeah. With, February, 18th, 2024. Sorry.
And so when did it expire?
February 2024.
But it says 2025 on the paper.
That's because I never did this before. They told me to put that date at the courthouse.
Who told you to put that date at the courthouse?
Courthouse on Michigan Ave. And I filled out the paperwork. So it's been month to month since last year, February 24th. It's
Okay, so first of all, where's the other notice to quit?
I got some more. Would you like the rest of them?
Well, no, because here's the problem. You keep trying to say that you did everything proper, but now that I'm looking at this, I don't have the notice to quit and how it was served on. The notice to quit to recover property, the very first document, I don't have the one that has the proof of service.
Well, I turned that back into the court along with this receipt.
Ma'am,
Saying that,
ma'am, I'm looking at the court copy. I'm looking at what you turned into the court. What I'm telling you is I do not have it. When was the notice to quit served?
Notice of proof of service, January 28th.
Where's the proof of service? What do you mean January 28th? This isn't the proof of service. This copy that you gave me, that copy doesn't have the proof of service on it either.
When you say proof of service, the proof that the papers were filed or the proof that the papers was given to them?
To prove that you served the notice to quit to recover possession of property.
Yes, yes. They told me to bring that the receipt after the service. This is the
Let me see what she's holding up there.
this the filing paper.
I don't know what you're holding up. No, that's a receipt. There's a notice of, there's a notice. Here it is, but it's not signed. I don't have a proof of service.
So I took it in.
Ma'am? Yeah, ma'am.
I had to prove that that it was mailed by the server, by the US Postal Service. That's what you're talking about, that served paper. I had that in the car, it's in my purse.
What was served? Okay, I'm showing, so the record's clear, the notice to quit to recover possession of the property. It has a move-out date of February 28, 2025. It says on here that you certify this is filled out on the 14th of January, that you served this on Dustin Mickles. Doesn't say you served it on the other party, so I don't know what that's going to do. And you say you served it by first-class mail addressed to that person. Problem is,
Because
I don't, what rest of what paperwork?
the rest of the paperwork where I did go down to the courthouse and they put, I had to show them the receipt of the postal service that I had.
This would, yeah, ma'am, I don't know what you're talking about.
What I'm talking about is the papers were served. The papers even get a contact. After I served the papers, I had to go take the courthouse a proof of service with the postal receipt and everything.
I don't know why you would have to take a proof of service on this.
To make sure that it gets served.
That's with the, that's gonna be a different other filing.
Jamie Moore deliver it or have the postal service deliver it. For make sure they got it. That's why they're here today in court, because they got the notice. So I don't understand what's wrong at this point. They got the notice, that's why we're here.
I have to have a proof of service that they had adequate notice. I see that document, but I don't have a proof of service regarding the notice.
Can I go get it right in person?
What's it gonna tell me?
It's gonna take the proof of services that you said you need
For what document?
for the court document paper that we filled out, sir.
Okay, you
That's
filled
why we're
out,
here.
you,
If it wasn't filled out correctly, why are we here?
because everybody would have sent notice out. You have no idea what I'm talking about. The notice to quit, you have shown me a copy of the notice to quit. Pull out your copy of the paperwork.
Can I go get it from the car?
Pull out your copy of the paperwork that you just showed me.
What I'm telling you is this paperwork.
You know what? Go out to your car. You just don't listen, and you're gonna go all the way out there. You're gonna come back, and I'm gonna tell you it's not what I'm looking for. But you go ahead, hardhead. You go ahead and do it. You guys have a seat. Court's gonna stand in recess. Recall the case of Green versus Mickles. Parties are present. Ma'am, hand my bailiff what you want to show me. This is what I knew you were going to go out and get. That's not it. Proof of service for summons and complaint. I'm not talking about the proof of service for summons and complaint. Because you weren't listening, you wasted all of our time. I knew you weren't going to bring it to me. The notice is defective. or you have a document someplace that you did not file with the court, one of the two. In your other paperwork, I see it, but it is not filled out. It doesn't tell me what I would need to tell anyone. The copy that I have in the court file also does not show when the notice to quit was served.
Here, she said, it looks like everything is ready to go. And she said,
I don't know what lawyer you're talking about.
the lawyer that I ran down, she left out the courtroom, I said, I really want property. I just want to make sure I'm doing all the steps. She looked at the paperwork, she said, I should have over 10 days. If not, contact me. Because this is new to me too. And it's unfair that I have to go through this.
Ma'am, please don't talk about unfairness. Really, don't talk about unfairness. I've tried for the last half hour to try to tell you what I don't have. You keep trying to pound that square peg into a round hole, telling me, yes, I do have it. I keep trying to tell you that you don't. I keep trying to specifically tell you what you don't have, and you're not listening to me. Then you decide what you want to do is you want to walk all the way out to your car to get it. And I know what you're going to, and you're talking about the Postal Service. I know exactly what you're going to bring back to me, but you keep saying you want to go out there. So I'm going to let you go out there. You walked all the way out there. They sat here and waited. I went back, waited for you to come back. I knew exactly what you were going to show me. And it's not what I'm talking about. So if you want to talk about being unfair, it's that you don't want to listen. You want to try to make something out of something that's not. Say this once. If I don't have the proper proof of service on the notice to quit, that is an improper notice to quit. This is a court of statutory, well, these cases are statutory. For me to obtain subject matter jurisdiction over the case, I have to have a proper notice to quit. As of this moment, I do not have a proper notice to quit. I think that maybe there is a possibility the defect in the notice to quit can be corrected. I don't know that for sure. I somehow doubt it because you've shown me the blank one and it wasn't filled out properly and not submitted to the court. And so if I don't have a proper notice to quit, the only thing that I can do, since I have not acquired subject matter jurisdiction over the case, would be to dismiss your case. In fairness to you, or to try to be fair to you, if you'll listen, I will give you an opportunity to correct that. If it is not corrected when we get back here on the adjourn day, I will be dismissing the case so that nobody is surprised. If it is corrected, then I will be proceeding with the case. So I'm going to adjourn the matter to April 18, 2025, 1 p.m., giving you one opportunity to correct the defects in your pleadings. That is all I've got to say. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.